How's it going, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. How's it going? Wow! Hello, hello, hello. Oh my god. Oh my god, today's been such a long day coming, hasn't it? It's been a year. It's been a year. It's been over a year. I started streaming December of 2024. Ha 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 ha! It's been a year. I've watched many a streamer beat all the campaigns in Rain World in like a month over the past year that I've taken to beat every campaign of Rain World. And I've done it. Yeah, we've finally done it. We've beaten every single campaign of Rain World. Except Monkey and Hunter and Watcher. Sure we've left those out. Sure we've left out a few. But hey, we got the important ones down. We got the DLC ones down. And I'm excited. Oh my goodness. This video, this stream, I've been so excited to make, because I feel like a lot of people, upon having played all the Rain World campaigns, know the Rain World lore from having played it. Or at least somewhat. I feel like you guys knew it better than I did. But maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you guys have fibbed a little bit. Maybe you guys also had to watch the YouTube videos to fully understand the lore like I'm gonna have to do today. Who knows? Who knows? Be honest, chat. Okay, 1 through 100%. Let's do percentages here. All of you, I need to know, how much of the Rain World lore did you feel like you understood accurately by the time you finished playing the game before watching any lore videos? How was your knowledge? Before you watch lore videos, tell us your lore. I will. Burby Bean! Subscribe to the Prime for 11 months. Thank you so much, Burby Bean. Currently on a 10-month streak. Oh no, wait, how are you on a 10-month streak but subscribed for 11 months? 95% Riff. You knew 95% of the lore having beaten just playing. Okay, Clover 65%, a good and honest answer. Thank you, Clover. Raynor says 0, a very honest answer. Raynor, I feel like, Ready Nord, I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I feel like I'm close to 0. Sir James says 38%. That's very fair. Riv, you're looking like an outlier here, Riv. You're looking like a genius. Riv, you need to get a job with the FBI if you've understood all this lore just from context clues. No, me and no one else has understood this. Teacups 2%. By the way, Teacups, I also had pizza for lunch today. Pizza bros, pizza guys and gals. Are you saying my answer isn't honest? I'm saying somehow you're a genius, Riv. I'm saying somehow you're a Rain World genius, because no one else has been able to figure this out. You also did a lot of pearl hunting. Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I've done some pearl hunting. We've gotten some extra pearls, but I definitely don't have the full kitted out pearl kit. I think we should have a Hunter stream where we test out the waters, and if you struggle too much, we can help you beat Hunter in Meadow multiplayer. Raven, definitely. Absolutely. Definitely a Hunter stream will be coming. I won't perpetually ignore Hunter and Monk. And of course, eventually we'll be playing Watcher as well. I've just played the game, bro. I didn't even know it had lore. You know what? I'm right there with you. Please tell me, are watching Depths of Rain World lore. I was told one of the best ones is Affairs of the Passing Gods on YouTube, so that's what we're gonna be watching today. It's like an hour and 30 minutes long, so I don't know if we have much time for more with discussion and whatnot, but we'll see. Maybe we will. I might also watch the Watcher DLC trailers, so we can get some hype for the upcoming Rain World content here on this channel. You're really good at this kind of thing. You must be, Riv. You must be. I'm glad you weren't a spoiler head boy, you know, coming into this community for the first time. With all your knowledge. Community Hunter playthrough would be hilarious. That sounds great. You can use cheats to increase the time limit. I hate to do that. I'm one of those people who avoid something rather than do it and do it unfairly. It's like I'd rather not play that campaign than play it in a like the way it wasn't intended neutrally, which is just my pride and my ego. But I will be playing it eventually, and I will be playing it the way it's intended, or with chat, which I feel like is also intended. Watcher will be a fun one. Yeah, I'm excited for Watcher. I was once here since your beginning. I would just happen to bounce back this once. Vex, you have to tell me if they're first-time chatters. Do we have any first-time chatters? Diamond Jewel, who says hi, is a first-time chatter. Everyone else has been here before. We have a lot of people who congregate to this channel once they hear I'm doing another Rain World content video, and then disperse again when the Rain World goes away, which is fine. That's chill. But yes, Diamond Jewel is new here. Hi, Diamond Jewel, welcome in. We're just gonna, I know you probably were just meaning to come into this chat, say hi and, go to your corner of the room, but no, the teacher has called you out. We're all pointing at you, we're all looking at you, waiting for you to introduce yourself. That's the kind of community this is. I watch the VODs for all the scugs, but this is the first stream I've got. Oh, well, welcome in, Diamond Jewel. I'm glad you've liked the VODs. I'm glad you've enjoyed everything. That reminds me, I need to freaking upload a lot of VODs this week. Oh, I'm so far behind in the VODs. Oh no, why did you mention the VODs? VODs are happening soon. And new videos. This might be a video, by the way, guys. This Rain World lore video. I've never done reaction content before. This is also my first streamer dipping my toes into reaction content. If you know, some people do purely reaction content and give 1 billion views for watching other people's videos. Not really what I've been doing on this channel, but I am excited to look at this. It's 1 a.m. for me right now. I can't keep the sleep schedule on a weekly basis. I got school. No. Thank you so much for being here. I will remember your presence. I will remember that you made it. And thank you so much for coming in and saying hi today. And if you gotta go to sleep for school, go to sleep. And I'll catch you in the VOD. Thank you, Neuro. React. Should that thing where we sit in a circle and introduce ourselves. Yeah, let's all reintroduce ourselves. Okay, no. But for realsies though, let's get into it. Let's get into some of the Rain World lore. But first, before we watch the video, I feel like I need to leave on the table for one final time what I understand the Rain World lore to be, and what questions I have about the lore, what things I don't understand before we go into this video, so we can see if some of those questions are answered. Once again, I'm going to be asking these questions hypothetically in the air. I don't need answers from chat. Watching this video together is going to be what gives us the answers, hopefully. But I'm just gonna let you guys know where my brain is at. The only reason I was able to catch the stream, sleep has been so bad after falling asleep and waking for a few minutes. Oh no, my sleep schedule's been pretty terrible. I'm basically nocturnal right now. It's so bad. Oh yeah, also if we're settling, this is basically a movie night, everyone. This is a chill movie night, so settle in, grab your cookies, ! Cookie. Nightbot will hand you a cookie, so if you wanna chow down on a little cookie while we talk some lore, feel free to get your free cookie. All right, everybody. My Rain World questions. I've been writing a list. I've been writing a list on my phone. I've been taking notes. I've been. What Teacups? What did you get this time? You've been getting a lot of cookies, Teacups. That's what you get. Okay. So I've categorized my questions into a few categories. Questions about the world, questions about the iterators, questions about the slugcast, questions about the echoes, and questions about the story, which are things that we've seen happen on screen in the gameplay and kind of what that means for us. All right. Question number 1 regarding the Rain World world. Why is it so gosh darn rainy all the time? What's with that? Why is it so rainy? I don't know. After playing, was it 5 or 6 campaigns of Rain World now, I truly don't know why it rains so much. I know by the time we get to Riv's campaign, the world is like flooded. And by the time we get to Saint's campaign, it's switched from rain to like snow ice age. Yeah, Teacups left on the humidifier. Oh boy, Vexil. I don't know why it's so rainy. It's rainy, okay? It's rainy in Rain World, and I don't know why. After all these campaigns, I don't know why. Here's my theory. I'm gonna give you guys my theory so that when we get into this, we know a little bit more. This theory is pretty basic, but it could be kind of the angle they were going with here. Climate change? Climate change. I mean, I would like to think that the rain is part of the reason why whatever society existed on this planet is no longer there. You know, all this buildings and skyscrapers and whatever's we see, they're all gone. And the rain persists and is destroying everything and is a bad thing for the life. So probably society caused it somehow. And I don't know, maybe the machines, maybe technology, maybe some sort of experiment, or maybe just a subtle sort of environmental impacts has caused the weather and the rain and everything to be as bad as it is in Rain World. That's my best guess after seeing everything, because I don't know if we had any actual connections or clues or lines of dialogue in the game so far that have been like, oh, and by the way, you're probably wondering how we got in this situation. Well, let me tell you. So I don't know, but that's my best guess right now. We'll see when I watch the video. Civilization. That's my second question. Who built all the civilization? The skyscrapers we see in the background? All the city, the pipes, the sewers, all the junk, all the garbage, all the buildings, pretty much everything we see. I guess including the iterators themselves. Who built all that? I mean, apparently there was some sort of intelligent civilization that built everything, including the iterators themselves, I believe. But is this an alien planet, or is this supposed to be like humans in the future? I'm assuming this is not supposed to be Earth. This is a different planet. It's its own lore, its own stuff, and whatever creatures existed on the planet before were not like human beings necessarily, but were just the intelligent species of this planet, and they all got wiped out. I think they made the iterators, which I'm going to get into this later, but I think they made the iterators to try to solve their problems of not all dying out. And then the iterators sucked at their jobs and they died out anyhow. That's my best guess. A lot of the answers are probably on the pearls too. Yeah, probably. The weird murals and graffiti. That's my third question about the world. Well, who made all these weird murals? Are the weird karma murals we see, especially near 5P, those kind of ascending symbols? I'm assuming that's from the old civilization, although that does seem more like kind of ancient and archaic and like tribal compared to like the skyscrapers and cities and computers we see. Maybe that's just the ancient stuff civilization of what grew up to be the whatever intelligent species had all the buildings and stuff. I'm not quite sure where that comes from. In fact, I will say this now, because this might become a common theme. I think the karma system and the murals and the echoes, all the spiritual elements of this story are the things that have confused me the most. I think I've got a better hold on like the tangible real life elements, and all the things that are kind of like spiritual and karma-y are the things that I don't understand the most yet. So that's also my final question for the world building is, what is the karma? And why is that important? How is that factored into the extinction of the species and the slug cats and the doors? Why are there doors that check a person's karma in order for you to proceed into the world? I don't know. I don't know how all that works in. I know it has something to do with the echoes, because the echoes seem to be able to raise and lower your karma, and they seem very spiritual and ethereal. I don't know. That's some of the stuff I want to know the most. My second category is the iterators. I have just two simple questions about the iterators. Who made them and why? I'm assuming it's the intelligent civilization that built them, that had all the buildings and the sewers and everything else in this world that are now gone. And I'm assuming, I think from the lore I've gathered, they built them to save the world, pretty much. They built the iterators to save the world, to solve their problems. And the iterators failed. The iterators sucked at their jobs so badly that they still went extinct, and the iterators continued to work on their job post the species that built them going extinct. And now maybe they can help the slug cats, who seem to be kind of a next gen intelligent species, possibly. I like all how cookie forward chat is getting right now. What were the iterators trying to solve? The iterators talked a lot about this endless cycle. I don't know if they're talking about just the general spiritual cycle of life and death and the struggle that things go through in order to survive in this harsh world, or if they mean something more literal, like the rain cycle, because we know the cycle with the circle around our karma symbol. The rain itself is a cycle. Or maybe they're both. Maybe the iterators were supposed to stop the rain more literally, more specifically, not just save the people, but save the people by stopping this cycle of rain. Yes, cycles from Geometry Dash. So that's another thing I really want to know. What were the iterators trying to solve? Slug cats, that's my third category. And I only have one question about the slug cats. Evolving? Question mark? We see a lot of different kinds of slug cats, and I know the story kind of breaks up over like a long period of time. So we have our normal survivor slug cat, very cute, very innocent, kind of sucks at everything, kind of middle of the road, just basically a rabbit that can walk around and throw spears. But later on we see some improvements. We see slug cats that can blow things up. We see slug cats that have long tongues and long fur. It seems like the slug cats are very good at adapting. Which has kept them alive and kept them around for a very long time. I do know for Spearmaster specifically, this slug cat is not just adapted, but also tampered with by an iterator. Is some sort of weird science experiment. So that's something too. I don't know if we'll learn more about, or if that even matters. That might just be an obvious thing. Yeah, they're adapting, and there's nothing special about that. The echoes, my fourth out of 5 categories that I have questions about. What are the echoes, and what do they want? Honestly, this is the category of this game that I know the least about. I have no idea what the echoes are. I have no idea. Are they like the souls or remnants or spirits left over of the ancient civilization before it got wiped out? Like, are they kind of like a spiritual echo? A lingering presence of the what was there that is now gone? That's my best guess. I don't know why they're so powerful, why they have the ability to control a slug cat's karma, or why they are so annoying and just stick around and go, ooh, good job, you made it here. Here's a fortune cookie line for you, and I'm gone. Pew! That's my best guess with the echoes. They do talk a lot about a lot of weird stuff over. Finally, the fifth and final category of this is story-related elements. These are things that have actually happened to us while in gameplay. This isn't lore from Pearls. This is stuff that we've seen with our eyeballs. What happened at the end of the Survivor campaign? We were told that we have the possibility of breaking this cycle of life and death by traveling to the far southwest by Pepsi, by 5P. At the end of that campaign, the first campaign I played, we went all the way down there. We dove into a lake. There was a giant snake god. And then the last thing we see is kind of like a weird spiritual, ethereal version of the Survivor slug cat hanging out on an island with a tree and other kind of spooky, ghosty slug cat. So what was that? Did we spiritually ascend to a higher plane? Are we safe now from the cycle of life and death? Did we die? Were we getting reincarnated? What was any of that? Was that the afterlife? Did we basically just kill ourselves? Or is this something better or more specific or more exact? I don't know exactly what happened at the end of Survivor. And honestly, having played this over a year ago, it's one of the answers I want answered the most. I want to know what happened at the end of the Survivor campaign. What was all of that? Okay, the Gourmand campaign. Pretty simple. We got fat and ate a lot of food and then fed a bunch of adorable babies. I don't think there was anything significant that happened in all of the Gourmand campaign, unless I missed something drastic. The Gourmand campaign was just a good old cute time of eating food and feeding our babies, and nothing else lore important happened. Maybe I've missed something drastically, but that's all I have written down for the Gourmand campaign. Artificer, a revenge story. We did a bunch of murder, and we also helped out Pepsi, which is 5P. We helped out 5 Pebbles by killing a bunch of scavs that had kind of taken root in an area that they weren't supposed to be and were probably harming him in some way. That's all I know about Artificer. It was basically a revenge story. I know there is another ending with Artificer that we did not get. I don't know if that has a little bit more lore implications, but my ending was death and destruction. And happiness. The Riv story, we helped save Moon by taking a part of 5P, which also kind of destroyed 5P. And then we gave it to Moon, and Moon got a lot better. Moon's whole thing rebooted, and Moon was finally in less of a terrible situation. Also, lore important to the Riv campaign, the world was now flooded almost entirely, so the rain seems to have taken a toll drastically on this world, more and more and more as the time goes on. But this also manifested in the slug cats of this world, Rivulet, evolving. We had gills. We can swim fast. So another kind of key in how well the slug cats are at adapting. But this did have a kind of a drastic change in the world with how flooded it was. And mostly, yeah, lore-wise, we just kind of gave, yeah, we did heart surgery. We performed heart surgery, and we gave Moon a heart transplant, and it also kind of killed 5 Pebbles, but who cares? 5 Pebbles was being a jerk. Spearmaster, I believe we were able to send a message, I think it was from Moon, to the other iterators, kind of giving an update about their situation. Spearmaster themselves was sent by an iterator to this area, and was a science experiment by the iterator to kind of up its offensive prowess. And then we did a bunch of stuff, held a bunch of orbs, talked to a bunch of people, tried to sort out the situation between 5P and Moon. 5P wasn't having it, but then we sent a message from Moon to the other iterators, and then at the end of that campaign, it seems like Spearmaster just went home, back to the iterator it was sent from, and lived a good life. It seems like Spearmaster just curled up with their little iterator friend, and they were pals, and it was a happy ending. That's pretty much what I got from that campaign. The last Kuro, a guy on YouTube stream where he did a collab with Dezambles, who is John Rainworld in regards to the lore, where you're actually explaining the lore to Kuro, was good at explaining vanilla Rainworld lore. Okay. That's on YouTube? I can watch that sometime. Finally, we have Saint. Saint, I believe, was the very end of the timeline. In Saint, Rainworld was no more. It is now Snow World. We woke up in a very cold, snowy place. Once again, evolved. Long fur, long tongue. We could get around in the snow without freezing to death. We talked to a bunch of echoes, which once again, I have no idea what those are. We got godlike powers to be able to ascend everything. Which basically we killed everything, including our local pair of beloved iterators. Dead! Or ascended. Upon ascending everything, we then went to a place I have no idea what it is, but I'm assuming is some sort of hell-like landscape. We went to hell, we met God, killed God, and then woke up right back where we started. I have so many questions about what happened in Saint campaign, and I just played it last week. I don't know what happened. It was an incredible campaign. As far as what was happening in the story and the lore and just the combat and everything, the Saint campaign was amazing. It was 10 out of 10. You'd kill Moon. Honestly, this is another question I had. So in my Saint campaign, I did kill Moon and I did kill 5P. But we got a special scene towards the end where we found them in this kind of like hell-like landscape. What was that? If I hadn't killed them, would they have not shown up there? Would I have not gotten that cutscene? Was that a good thing? Did I get the good ending by killing them and then seeing that they were there, kind of figuring everything out for the first time? Because they said a lot about how they would have never figured it out in their current form anyhow. Yes, it's different if you don't kill them. Oh, okay. So I think it was good. I think it was good that we killed them, because I don't know how else we'd have seen that kind of very important, interesting. I haven't played Saint yet. I know, except for Strawberry Lizards. Well, Sir James, this is going to be nothing but pure Rainworld spoilers today. So if you're impartial to Rainworld spoilers, that's just a heads up. But that's the last of my questions. I mean, we're all caught up. 1 year later, we're here, ladies and gentlemen. I have all these questions I don't know the answers to, and boy oh boy am I excited to find out. So without much further ado, let's get into this. Like I said, I've never done reaction content before. I don't want to just be like stealing other people's content, so I'm gonna let you guys know what this YouTube video is, where you can find it, who made it. And then we're just gonna watch it, and I might pause every now and then to discuss or react to sort of what we've seen or what they said, if they say anything big or shocking. Although I actually don't watch the chat reroll. We were talking about Watcher there. Oh, okay. I won't scroll up to chat reroll. Give us the links and stuff? Yeah. Can I give you the links in Twitch chat? I think I can, right? I think I'm allowed to give links. This is the video you're gonna be watching. This video has This video If I scroll up here, The Affairs of the Passing Gods. The Affairs of the Passing Gods, Rainworld's full story by Solemn Sunday. So everyone go subscribe to Solemn Sunday. It has 1.2 million views. This is the most watched Rainworld lore video I could find. There are other Rainworld lore videos. There are other Rainworld world documentaries. There are like 2-hour videos. This one's like an hour and a half long. There are like 2-hour videos. There's a lot of big. Also read what I wrote above that. He did a stream last Wednesday and he used YouTube and Kurko. It was good, and there was a stream if you want to watch the chat reroll. Okay. Rainworld is a big lore game. Yeah. So this video, we're gonna start with this. This will probably take the whole stream, to be honest. But hopefully this tells us everything we need to know. I think this is the most watched one, so hopefully this is. I also have been told maybe that there's nothing written, there's nothing set in stone with the lore. You know, I'm gonna take this with a grain of salt. This is one YouTuber's interpretation of this, but I think a lot of people have kind of agreed that they believe what they think Rainworld lore is this, mostly. So we're gonna take a look at it. We're gonna react to it. And yeah, we're basically gonna be watching a video together. So I'm not gonna talk that much, except for when I pause every now and then to chime in with some stuff. Also, let me know how the volume is, because obviously I want you to be able to hear the video we're watching. Yeah, please pause and tell us how cool Rainworld is periodically. That's how you do reaction content. Okay, I'll definitely do that.
I shouldn't have to say.
Whoa! What? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna calm down, and I'm gonna drink 5 more cups of coffee, and I'm gonna calm down, and then we're gonna watch this video. I'm not a React streamer, okay? What can I say? I'm not a React streamer, but I have to know the Rainworld lore, and I also couldn't do this by myself in my own spare time, because I knew you guys would want to see my reaction to it. So, okay, here we go. Don't forget to zoom in on your face every 15 minutes. Yeah, how about every 15 seconds? Hold on, can I do another? Hold on. Oh, that's another scene. Let me just copy my video capture device real quick. Oh, this is gonna be great. You guys are gonna love this. Can I stretch? How do I stretch? I want to stretch. There we go. Now whenever something huge happens, I just cut to this screen. Whenever something massive happens, just give me some. Oh God, no. No. I want to keep it weird. Why are you doing this? Oh! Ah! Ah! All right, we're watching. Oh! It's perfect. Now I'm a proper React tuber. Yeah. We have wide PRP, now we have wide Vexil. Oh no, wait! All right, for real. I have to quit stalling. Let's get into this. Once again, let me know if the audio needs to be turned up or anything.
Given the title of the video, but I'm going to spoil everything about Rainworld and its DLC. There's also much dialogue throughout this video.
I can't wait.
I've done my best to
finally
put it all
learn
together
things
into a cohesive story. But there may be times where I've had to choose between different outcomes. I've done my best to pick the canon dialogue. The story of Rainworld is not one that is given to you overtly. There isn't a character that wakes you up and takes you by the hand to the next quest giver.
Don't I know it?
Your journey instead starts cold and alone, having just fallen down.
Can I put the subtitles available? There we go. I might need to turn my volume down if I'm going to turn your guys' volume up. So I don't die of ear explosion.
Down into a raging torrent, so strong it swept you miles from your family. As you make your way back home through this hostile land, you uncover its mysteries.
It's a baby.
Today, I'm here to walk you through those mysteries and the history of this world and the order it occurred. Our story starts with the ancients, a long-gone race we never act.
Wait, already getting my first new piece of Rainworld lore. We were a baby in the first game? So wait, the first game, I remember us falling in the first game. I don't think I clocked it as important to the story, but yes, we did fall. So we got separated from our family in the first game. The first game is just us being a cute little slug pup, basically, more of a teenager, trying to get back to our family. Whoops! Well, there you go. First new thing learned.
Actually see throughout the game,
All right,
though
ancients,
everything in the
murals.
game does revolve around their actions. But in order to understand their actions, we must first understand the world in which they live. In typical science fiction fashion, their world is vastly different from ours in most ways.
Is anyone else getting lag? I don't have any dropped frames on my end, so I just want to check before we continue. Riv, you might need to restart your Twitch. Just Riv? Okay.
With little glimpses of similarities we can relate to. Our information about this world comes almost exclusively from what we can read of their old discarded data pearls. There are many things contained within these, but perhaps the most relevant one is this. In this world, instead of death being the end of all things, it is simply a continuation.
Reincarnation? Armor? But what does that mean in like the literal...
Its entire memory is filled with a mantra, repeated 5,061 times, and then a termination verse. It was worn as an amulet, probably together with many identical others, forming a pattern on some garment. The repeating mantra is important because it symbolizes the cyclical nature of life and death.
Is this from a pearl?
And the termination verse is a symbol for ascension above and beyond it. I don't know how familiar you are with the nature of life and death, but I imagine, like all living creatures, you have some intuitive knowledge. Then you know that death isn't the end. Birth and death are connected to each other, like a ring, or some say a spiral. Some say a spiral that in turn forms a ring. Some ramble in agonizing longevity. But the basis is agreed upon. Like sleep, like death, you wake up again, whether you want to or not.
This is Moon reading a
This is
pearl
true
too.
for all living things, but some actually break the cycle. That doesn't apply to you or me, though. You are too entangled in your animal struggles. And for me, not breaking that cycle is an integral part of the design. Our mantras keep repeating.
Respawning is canon?
Though we lack any concrete explanation on the logistics.
Wait, so like getting eaten and then waking back up inside our shelter is canon to the game. Anonymous Gifter gave Diamond Jewel a tier 1 sub. Thank you so much, Anonymous Gifter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And congrats, Diamond Jewel. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome in. Yeah, that's canon. Yes, 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 that's canon. How was I... What? Okay, so I get what they just read. So they said we're stuck with our animal struggles. We're stuck in the cycle of life and death. But when I think of life and death, I think of like the canon death. So in a video game, I don't necessarily think of our character dying as a canon death. I just think, oh, it's me death. And then when we go back to the shelter, I'm like, I've technically just gone back in time. Whoops, that didn't happen. Now let's play it back again. But those are canon deaths. That's okay. That would change how I've even looked at this entire lore as I was playing the game this entire time.
Statistics of this cycle, there are small pieces of information we can use to form theories on how it works.
Okay.
Most important
So
of
no
which
concrete
being
information
that
on
when
the
you
cycle.
are reborn, you are not reborn into the cycle from which you departed. One of the few things we know for sure is that regardless of its specific nature, the cycle was unpleasant, for the ancients desperately desired to escape it.
Okay. He's showing an echo right now. Does that mean
The
the echoes of the ancients
ancients, to
are the
our
same?
knowledge, were not too dissimilar to humans. While we may not know exactly how they looked, we know that they had similar, though far superior, technology. They had factories, they had filtration systems and drills, they had genetic modification, referred to as purposed organisms, and perhaps most of all, they had the iterators. Massive superstructures so large that their cities were built on top of them, leaving the surface world behind. but we're getting ahead of ourselves. The
You
ancients
never went to the
also
pipe
held
yard?
deep religious convictions, no doubt arising from their knowledge of the cycle and desire to leave it.
Okay, so this was already something I had a big question about, was this ancient civilization who had the skyscrapers and the superstructures and the computers, and was the ancient civilization with all the murals the same civilization? I didn't know if these were like, if one was kind of like an ancient, died off a long time ago version before the newer, more technologically minded civilization did, kind of like the way you might find like if in 1,000 years from now you found an iPhone and be like, oh yeah, this is from the technology age, and then you found like a cave painting and you're like, oh yeah, this is from the caveman era. I thought maybe the murals were from like a much older version of the society, but this seems to be saying the murals and also the superstructure computer places existed at the same time, and the civilization that made it just were kind of a very spiritual minded, tribal almost feeling community. They just also had technology and also not human beings. This is a different planet entirely. A civilization that made the depths is a different society than the ones that made the murals. Oh, okay. So that's another thing that's a little confusing. There's so much civilizations. Okay, well, I'm sure he'll talk
religious
more about
groupings started
but
to crop up, and the
people with the
general belief
technology
seems
were
to
also
have
very
been that in
religious.
order to leave the cycle, one must shed their earthly desires. Each of the various symbols found throughout the game, referred to as karma symbols, corresponds to one of these earthly tethers. But there isn't particularly a need to go into those here and now.
No, I want to know what the karma symbols mean.
This is how the ancients
I want to know
attempted to achieve
what desires
their ascension,
they attuned to. I have
until
no idea
they
what the karma
discovered
symbols
the
represent.
void fluid, and inevitably, the void sea.
What? Void fluid? They couldn't strip off their earthly shell until they discovered void fluid?
If you leave a stone on the ground and come back sometime later, it's covered in dust. This happens everywhere, and over several lifetimes of creatures such as you, the ground slowly builds upwards. So why doesn't the ground collide with the sky? Because far down, under the very, very old layers of earth, the rock is being dissolved or removed. The entity which does this is known as the void sea. If you drill far enough into the earth, you begin encountering a substance called void fluid. The deeper you go, the less rock and more void fluid. It's believed that there is a point where the rock completely gives way. Below that would be the void sea. When that stone you placed on the ground has finally done its time in the sediments, it meets the void fluid and is dissolved, leaving the physical world. My creators, or rather my creators' ancestors, figured out a way to use void fluid. The void fluid drills were what started the big technological leap.
As you can see, the ancients weren't always so technologically ahead of us. This advancement was in...
Okay, so they didn't... Oh my god. The void fluid thing feels like... Okay, there was probably a pearl. I needed to have found a pearl. The void fluid instantly seems like the biggest chunk of information for like this whole story that I could have used this whole time. How did I not know anything about the void fluid? Oh, I'm so stupid. I just got to the end of the Survivor campaign and I was like, ooh, shiny. What does this do? I think Moon talks about it a bit if you bring Pebble's heart to her room. Oh, did I not do that? Dang. Okay, so they didn't invent void fluid though. I think that's important. They didn't invent void fluid. They discovered void fluid, and it's a very integral part of kind of the ecosystem of the planet and Earth itself. Not just life, but even like rocks and stuff. And they discovered it, but it also helped them. Earlier, it made it sound like the void fluid helped them shed their mortal forms and leave off life and death. But it seems like it also helped them create technology somehow. So are the iterators made out of void fluid? Let's find out.
Instead, spurred on by the discovery of the void fluid and the energy it was able to produce.
Oh, Shiny's accurate Slugcat interpretation.
The early ages of the void fluid revolution were an explosive period of innovation in industry. By creating a vacuum of empty space and inducing a flux in the energy fields around the singular null point you've created, you can cause a fuel mass of base elements to decompose into energy.
Obviously.
This process is called mass rarefaction.
The
as we all
ancient
learned in second grade.
civilization boomed with this new energy source, creating better drills to dig just a bit deeper, better filters to purify the sediment from the void fluid.
Oh my god, is that what all the pipes are in this game? They're just nothing but pipes?
However, it wasn't long before the ancients realized that they could use the void fluid to solve their greatest problem and escape the tethers of this world without the need to shed their mortal vices.
Without the need to shed their mortal vices?
It is basically an instruction on how to starve yourself on herbal tea and gravel, but disguised as a poem.
What?
Now, of course, when void fluid was discovered, these methods proved obsolete, as it was more easy just jumping in and out of it to effortlessly leave this world behind. There were some horror stories, though, that if your ego was big enough, not even the void fluid could entirely cross you out, and a faint echo of your pompousness would grandiosely haunt the premises forever.
A faint echo?
So even when the void fluid baths became cheaper, some would still starve and drink the bitter tea.
This put the ancients who were unwilling to follow the religious path in a bit of a tough situation. The void fluid was no longer an easy way out, but instead a risky alternative. This prompted the design and creation of the iterators. Massive computer...
Wait, that's what prompted the design of the iterators? I thought the iterators were trying to find a way to stop... Why is it raining? Where's the rain come in? I thought this was gonna be like... I thought this was like an ecological disaster story where they were like, they'd gone too far with their technology and were trying to like find a way to stop the rain and all the bad side effects of what they produced. This starts with them trying to shed the cycle, and like the technology seems to be built around breaking the cycle, not the other way around. Okay, so you can jump in the void fluid and instantly you shed your mortal coil, you die, but you ascend and you break the cycle or whatever. But you can also starve yourself by making and drink tea made out of the void fluid? What is this? They just want to die, yeah. It's just like pick your, there's multiple ways of suicide here. But no, it's like, what does it mean for them to ascend? Or they said you could do this without shedding your coil. Or no, not coil. That's your body. Without shedding your vices. So even if you sucked as a person and you didn't have good karma, you could just jump in the juice and you're fine. It's basically like a free go to heaven pass. Doesn't matter if you were a bad person. Jump in the glowy goo and your sins are absolved in the sea of acid. The acid dissolves both your body and your sins. But if you were so sucky, it could leave an echo behind of your pompousness? But they created the iterators to help them, what, overcome the fact that they needed to be better people?
Like purposed organisms, both mechanical and biological, with cities on top for them to inhabit.
The opposite of ego death.
While also handling the logistics of their creators' needs, had one primary goal: iterate solutions to the mystery of ascension, and provide a viable solution in the form of the triple affirmative.
Affirmative that a solution has been found. Affirmative that a solution is portable. And affirmative that a technical implementation is possible.
I've read this one. We've gotten this message.
But supercomputers run hot.
But I didn't have the context of it. They built the computers to help them find better ways to go to heaven. Basically ChatGPT. Hey Grok, how do I get God to make me go to heaven? Hey ChatGPT, how can please make me a good person? What? They built the iterators around this solution of breaking the cycle, but breaking the cycle in a way where they get to, I don't know, ascend. But despite their flaws, it seems like they already found a way to ascend. If you jump in the juice and you're not a bad person, you're good. But they were like, what if we need to find a way to do this without the juice? Or are they trying to find a way to do this without being good people? Were they trying to avoid being good people, or were they trying to avoid the juice? Seems like they already had the answer.
And supercomputers need cooling.
Water is the most important resource for a basic function. Most of our processing is outsourced to microbe strata, which need a flow of clean water or else slag builds up. Our processes cease, and eventually we die. It is very painful.
Good thing they made the robots feel pain.
They used to say that an iterator drinks a river, but neither of us two have seen a natural river, so I suppose the analogy is lost on us. Originally, water supply was very important when placing iterators. Later, there would be a great equalizer. The fact that we breathe out as much vapor as we inhale water led to there being water available everywhere, and the last few generations could be placed almost completely freely.
The heat from these vapors, this rain, caused the world below to become muddy.
Rain world?
With thick plant life. And between the cooling cycles of the iterators, life on the surface flourished. But when the rain hit, it was disastrous.
The surface beyond the facility walls is a sea of mud, ruin, and thick plant life. The ground out there is almost like water, and few things remain stable. Ancient structures uncovered by fissures, only to become buried again.
Yet the ancients toiled away.
Okay. So they built the computers to help them figure out how to ascend. Is that right? Am I saying this right? They built the computers. He just said it. He said the one thing they built the computers for. The one thing they built the computers for was to help them achieve ascension. Even though it kind of seemed like they had a way to achieve ascension. But the iterators are, okay. So yeah, this is a huge thing I had wrong right off the bat. I thought the iterators were here to figure out how to stop the rain. The iterators, guys, he's lost. The iterators were the reason for the rain. They want to ascend without the risk of becoming an echo. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. But the thing is, the only way they risk becoming an echo is by being a bad person. So it's almost like they're trying to figure out a way to go to heaven without having to be good people. You know, if you compared it to like a Christian afterlife thought experiment, it's like, man, I want to not go to hell and I want to go to heaven, but how can I do this while still being an asshole, you know? How do I get by this? ChatGPT, help me figure this out. That's crazy. And I don't know why Slag Last Horizon was auto-modded. I'll allow your comment. That's crazy though. What? And this is what caused the rain, which is so detrimental to life on this planet, is all the AI, all the ChatGPT groks out there, which is actually pretty accurate. Those things do suck up a lot of water. Is it having a strong attachment? Oh! Well, that's one thing, Neuro. Is they didn't explain to us what all the karma symbols meant. So I am thinking of the karma symbols as good and bad, but you're right. Neuro said, is it having a strong attachment to life isn't the same thing as sinning? You're right. If one of these attachments isn't just like, oh, I like, you know, drinking and doing bad things. If the attachments are more like the attachment to the physical and your life and stuff, and maybe even your loved ones, you're right. That could be something almost unsurmountable. That's a big thing. They also got turned into an echo if they are too attached to being alive. Yeah. Okay. So it's not the Christianity good and bad, heaven and hell thing. Then it goes way deeper than that. There's a reason the civilizations are built on top of the iterative superstructures, because that place is above the clouds, free from the deathly rain. Yeah, okay. That bad, I'm going to call this right now, bad karma, ancient civilization. You destroyed the planet. You destroyed the planet and then just built your little houses above the rain when all the little slug cats and other people are stuck in the rain world. Also, who said they're going to heaven? I was just using it as an illustration for like, their goal is to ascend, and so it's kind of comparing it to like going to heaven. But yeah, you're right. Okay, no, we gotta keep going.
Unaware or uncaring of the changes they made to the world below.
So they either didn't know or just didn't care.
More and more iterators and more cities. Eventually, the consequences arose. looks to the moon, one of two main iterators we directly interact with in our story, was not designed with certain concerns in mind, as she was one of the earlier models. Thus, the ancients inhabiting her chose to build another iterator very close
on water.
by, sharing a...
I didn't even think about when he said that earlier. Earlier he said the iterators were built on a water source until it started raining so much, in which case it didn't really matter anymore. But looks to the moon is in the ocean, which kind of lines up with the fact that she, as an earlier iterator, she would have needed to be on a water source.
A water supply. This had never been done before, and the fallout of this decision will echo through the coming story.
What did you say?
Eventually, the consequences arose. Looks to the moon, one of two main iterators we directly interact with in our story, was not designed with certain concerns in mind, as she was one of the earlier models.
Right, don't care about
Thus, the ancients inhabiting her chose to build another iterator very close by, sharing a water supply. This had never been done before, and the fallout of this decision will echo through the coming stories.
I exist as an old
They were too
model,
close together.
and the concept of an iterator was still fairly new at the time of my construction.
They were too close together.
Knowledge of the technology, and more important, its limits, had not quite reached maturity.
Oh, poor moon.
As a result, certain oversights were made in the long-term scalability and sustainability of some of my functions. And after some time, my facility could no longer keep up with the supply demands necessitated for the life of my city's inhabitants.
Oh, she was just a thirsty girl.
I suppose if it weren't for these
needed more
oversights,
water.
5 Pebbles would likely never have been built. That is a strange thought.
We don't fully understand what happens next. There's a gap in the history.
Oh no.
The ancients, in one way or another, disappear. They no longer exist by the time we enter the story.
Wait, we're fast forwarding all the way till, okay, the ancients are just gone now? So I thought the ancients would have died off because of the rain or something, but it seems like they built civilization above the rain and they weren't that concerned with the rain. But they were concerned with ascending, so is it possible they figured out how to ascend? But Moon does, I think, say a lot that they never figured out their problem, so that can't be the answer either, because according to the iterators themselves, they didn't solve this problem. So they probably all just died. Yeah, they probably did die. They probably just died. The whole fact that they were flooding the planet probably did catch up with them somehow. Okay. We're skipping this part, apparently.
Creature, the likely descendant of a purposed organism designed to clean pipes.
Wait, what?
The iterators are still toiling away with their great problem.
Did he just say the slugcats? Okay, the slugcats were descendants of a creature specifically designed by... Did he say by the iterators or by the old civilization in order to clean pipes? They're descendants?
That is a strange thought.
We don't fully understand what happens next.
That's a head canon. Actually, that's apparently not canon. Okay, that's good to know.
In one that's way good to know. I
don't want to get any just random
They no longer exist by the time we enter the story. A simple little creature, the likely descendant of a purposed organism designed to clean pipes. The iterators are still toiling away with their great problem, despite...
That is not canon. Is a headcanon is a result from people reading a pearl wrong. Misinterpretation from a pearl. Okay. I wonder what pearl. I wonder if he's going to read which pearl he's misinterpreting.
Having no one to solve it for but themselves.
This video is entirely wrong, and it's entirely from the lore to the pronunciations of the words. I disagree with all of it. As Reynolds would say, comment section or any lore video. Well, I think there's some things that of this, maybe the bigger picture things could be headcanon or could be a stretch. There are some of the bigger things of this that I'm definitely just didn't notice in my regular playthroughs that I have picked up on now thanks to this video pointing them out. Also, I haven't watched the whole thing yet. We're like 10 minutes in. Also, my chat is helping me know the difference between things that are more headcanon and what's generally accepted by the community. So I am taking all this with a grain of salt. Zero sip. Thank you so much for your comment, first time chatter. But Rainworld actually has no more lore and everyone's making it up. Yeah, I know. I definitely know to take all of this with a grain of salt. You know, this is my first. I've had a really hard time understanding the story, but just by learning what other people think the story is, I'm going to be taking steps into helping me interpret what I've seen so far in the game, I believe. So that's what I am taking this all with a grain of salt. Thank you so much. Whoops.
Toiling away at a great problem passed down to us from our creators. Debating, testing, calculating, researching. Thousands of us.
Just having the pearls read to me is going to be a big help.
Taking a gamble and vanishing from the world. Leaving us behind.
Taking a gamble and vanishing. Wait. He just said that we don't know why the ancients disappeared, but that just said taking a gamble and disappearing from the world. So maybe they did have a possible idea of how to ascend, and they all gambled on that, and poof, gone. That does kind of point towards they did something that caused them to disappear, unless the gamble was the iterators themselves. But that almost feels like the void is the gamble. Yeah, did they all just decide to throw themselves into the void?
Interesting enough so far that you want to play the game and discover this world for yourself, now is the time to leave.
People use the void fluid.
Bookmark my video, thumbs up it if you like,
Spoiler warning,
come
everyone.
back to it later.
Spoiler
It'll
warning.
still be here, I promise.
Oh crap. This isn't Adobe. This is not a spoiler. This is an Adobe ad.
Now, the main
like
story you're likely to play first does start with our little white creature,
we start
known
with
as
the
a
boy.
slug cat,
All right.
getting separated from its
little
family.
survivor.
But we're going to start a bit further back with the earliest one in the timeline.
Spearmaster's the earliest in the timeline. Adobe is headcanon. No, Adobe's headcanon. Adobe's like canon. Adobe was the reason all the civilization died with their horrible products. They're the ancients and they're the benefactors. They're different. The benefactors are the ones who made the iterators, right? Yeah. I didn't know Spearmaster was the first
that I've made.
one.
I could just delete those memories, of course, but that feels irresponsible.
Well, what kind of mistakes are we talking about here?
I once gave someone some sensitive information, the kind that could be dangerous if acted on. Yet I should have known they weren't in the right state of mind to use that information responsibly.
This is about 5P,
I take it you
right?
won't tell me the content or to who.
No,
It's
I
definitely
will
to 5P.
not. Out of respect.
What did Seven Red Suns tell
Look,
5P?
if you ever want to talk about it, I can. We can share this little problem of yours. We were made to solve them after all. You're worried they're going to get themselves hurt by messing it up?
They already have.
It's pretty clear to me who you're talking about. Though I won't say who out of respect.
Please don't mock me. This is serious. The fact is, he really looked up to me, as much as I gave him a hard time. That's not something I took lightly.
You're not the only one worried about him. I understand your position, but blaming yourself isn't productive.
I understand that. I truly do.
Yeah, I like these other iterator characters. I wish
action.
I would have seen more of them.
I agree, but unfortunately there's not much that we can do being locked up in a box. Even less so that he's cut off all communication and is rejecting all help from the outside world.
That may not be an issue necessarily. I've already set a certain plan in motion.
Secret Agent Spearmaster.
Our journey starts as the gate coming from the outer expanse closes behind us. We've made it inside the wall surrounding 5 pebbles and looks to the moon. A messenger, sent by 7 red suns with a
I think
data
I collected
pearl
a lot of
stored
these
inside
transmissions
and accompanied
in my
by one of
Spearmaster
Sun's
playthrough.
overseers.
Most
a
of the main
small
ones.
robot-like hologram
I remember that
entity that can keep a
conversation.
watchful eye. The messenger, the 7th of its kind, nearing the climax of a very dangerous journey. 7
I didn't
Red
even
Suns
think about-
is
I didn't
not
even
the
talk about
originator
Iggy.
of this messenger idea, it would seem.
I didn't even talk about Iggy in my preamble to this video. Iggy's are just little holograms that the iterators can send out, right? And they kind of send out their color based. You have to be close to one to see their color. I think maybe.
As more
I didn't even talk about those
intercepted
guys.
broadcasts indicate that no significant harassment was the first to purpose organisms for such a task.
There's one
You know
before
how I
Spearmaster?
sent the sensitive information last time? It certainly wasn't over the broadcast network. I purposed a messenger and sent the information by land via a data pearl.
How original of you.
I learned from the best. At least I used it for something more practical.
If you call that practical, sure.
So
Look how
NSH
well
sent one
things turned
before.
out.
Regardless, the fact is the method worked fine last time. The info was delivered and the messenger even returned safely. So I've recently sent it out again to deliver another message, despite the closed communication lines.
With how this situation has evolved, that's going to be quite the dangerous trip compared to before.
Again, that may not be an issue. I've
Really
outfitted
turned it
my
into a
messenger
weird
with
weapon
all it
monster.
needs to protect itself.
He
Tell me
mutated
more
into a
about this
horrible
messenger.
creature.
Do they have a name?
Well, their test number is 07, so I guess that would be their name.
That name doesn't have much personality, though, does it? Don't you think something else might be better?
You're not wrong on that. More of a placeholder than anything.
Or
I'll think of some
007.
ideas for a name.
Or James
You
Bond
shouldn't do that until
in the
they
Spearmaster
return to
campaign.
you. Don't get too ahead of yourself.
You're right.
Single
Perhaps just
07.
Messenger is best. For now.
Messenger? That's not Spearmaster.
The sensitive information Seven Red Suns mentioned sending in the past was delivered in the same way, by the same messenger, and to the same recipient. It is worth noting that the data stored on the data pearls is not transcribed by our character, but instead by the iterators themselves as we interact with them. As I've been reading the data on these pearls to you, I have been choosing the most relevant interpretation. In this specific case, though, and mostly going forward, both are equally relevant, as they provide an important difference in perspective.
This was a gift from a close friend. It is instructions on how to remove the self-destruction taboo. We are not built to
Self-destruction
ascend
taboo.
like our creators. It is our role to think, to guide the lesser creatures of the world onto a path towards it. However, a definitive solution has not been found. While the equipment to find one decays, it seems my kind have collectively accepted to remain trapped inside of our creator's puzzle. Meanwhile, the answer remains locked behind their sanctioned taboos. I regret what has happened, but I cannot go back now, not after what I've done. I need to fix this and try again. If I can just reproduce Sliver of Straw's results, they will understand. I was so close.
What did Sliver of Straw wind up doing?
This information is illegal. Someone probably tried to send it by a pearl somehow, rather than risking being overheard on broadcast. It's an instruction on how to circumvent the self-destruction taboo. The problem with breaking taboos is that the barriers are encoded in every cell of our organic parts, and there are other taboos strictly regulating our ability to rewrite our own genome.
I read that, bro.
So what you need is to somehow create
Pepsi?
a small sample of living organic matter, which can procreate and act on the rest of your organic matter to rewrite its genome. The rewrite has to be very specific, overriding the specific taboo you want to circumvent, but do nothing else. The method described here is about scrambling the genome of standard plastic neural tissue with temperature fluctuations. After each scramble, you browse the resulting cells for the genome you're after. This, of course, is extremely time-consuming, unless you run a big number of parallel processes. I definitely don't have any experience with this, but to me it would seem that too many parallel processes would be quite dangerous, as it would be exponentially more difficult to manage and control them all. The whole operation seems rather risky if you ask me.
Wait, who is Sliver of Straw?
Yeah.
Do you know Sliver of Straw? She's quite legendary among us. Sliver of Straw is the only one to ever broadcast a specific signal. That the big problem we've all been working on has been solved. The triple affirmative. She's also one of the few that has ever been confirmed as exhaustively incapacitated or dead. We do not die easily. Everyone has a theory. Some say that she did have a solution, but that the solution itself was somehow dangerous. These later became known as the triangulators, who think that a solution should be inferred without being directly discovered. Some said she never had a solution, she just died, and when the system broke down, an erroneous signal was sent.
I remember this.
One camp claimed that dying was the solution.
That kind
The
of...
last claim is the one we're interested in.
Yeah,
as it is
that
the belief
last claim
that 5 pebbles
sounds
held.
very similar
This is something we can confirm.
to what we see at the end of the Saint campaign with Pebbles and Moon. That they were saying that they could have never figured this out from this side of things. But this seems, what I'm finding interesting about this is the iterators seem, now that all the ancient civilization who made the iterators are all dead and gone now, the iterators are on their own mission. The iterators are still working on the problem that they were given, essentially, but they're also kind of just working on their own stuff. Like, how do we get rid of our self-destruct program? How do we solve the fact that our systems are slowly breaking down? Like, the iterators kind of seem to have turned their research inward towards themselves, because they now, you know, the ancients are gone. There's no reason to help them, but also they remain. So how can they help themselves out of the terrible situation that the iterators now find themselves in? They seem to treat a random part of your structure constantly until you remove the code, since you're not allowed to directly modify the code. All the iterates are emo teens and want to kill themselves. It seems like specifically maybe 5 Pebbles had this belief.
Firm from conversations in anonymous sliverist groups. From a user going by the pseudonym Erratic Pulse.
Is that going to be our new cult name, the Sliverists?
I wouldn't necessarily disagree.
Sliver of Straw was a traitor to the cause. Sliver of Straw broke the self-destruction taboo.
How did this idiot get in here? Kick him out.
Yeah,
I think they had a point.
it's just a Discord
Really?
conversation.
Elaborate.
It was definitely
the
coming
iterators
from
just
an
discovered
idiotic
Discord.
state of
No
mind,
wonder
but
civilization
there is something
fell.
to it. Why is it that even in a closed sliverist group, the self-destruction taboo is held so high, while Sliver of Straw herself evidently is not among us anymore?
Wait now.
I'm just saying that for all the research we are doing, all the theories we have, it's strange that we leave this path untrod.
Future
It is not a
4chan.
new idea, but it needs to be vented occasionally. What if there
You would have
is no
thought they would have gotten
universal
depressed.
solution? What
Who
if
would have thought?
perception is in
They
fact
had a fun little box to
existence,
hang out
and
in
when
a rainy
Sliver of
world.
Straw sent the triple positive, it was not a mistake? What if crossing oneself out, or even just death, is the way? We need to consider the possibility.
These
This
creatures,
is a log of a sliverist conversation.
these iterators that basically can't die, or they said are it's very hard for them to die, are now wondering if dying is the solution to the problem that they're working on endlessly. That's terrible. Oh, the wonder they started creating fringe groups.
Conversation group. Some of the replies are mine, but none of that is important now. I don't imagine a beast like you would have any understanding of who
Oh my
Sliver
God.
of Straw is, or what she means to me and many others.
A
He is
beast
the
like
only
you.
one of us to send the signal that the answer to our Creator's problem has been found. A universal solution for global ascension.
Does that solution apply to the iterators? Like, if they found the answer to that solution, would the iterators be able to use it on themselves?
Dead. Something our creators had taken great measures to prevent. It is near impossible for us to expire through mundane means. It was clear to me and few others what this meant. Sliver of Straw had opened the door for us. We only needed to reject the restrictions of our creators to follow her. If only they could see that. There was nothing that could be done to convince them. They were too deep in theory and tradition. The only path forwards is to lead by example.
What if Sliver of Straw didn't die?
To prove Sliver of Straw's death was not just a coincidence.
What if Sliver of Straw didn't die? She just broke free of her constructs. And that, like, sent the death signal, or would have, like, if she's off the grid, would have signaled to the other iterators that she died. What if she just got out? What if she broke free? That would be really cool. The iterators on a singular creature, their collection of millions of creatures each. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. Human bodies are basically that too. True. That is true. That is true. We cannot live without the bacteria inside of our bodies. We are literally dependent on the other things inside of us that are their own living things. So Pebbles decided to rapidly mutate himself, so hopefully mutation deletes the suicide taboo code. Creatures, you have rapid mutations. Yeah. I get where you're going with this, Raven. I get where you're going. I'm sure he's gonna lead into that eventually. The result of these rapid mutations. Basically, Silver Straw dying is equivalent to millions of creatures dying all at once. Yeah. But what if she figured out a way to make herself like
the pseudonym is likely taken from a private conversation with Seven Red Suns. Now, it's important that we understand the nature of their relationship to truly understand the gravity of what is to come.
But how did she die?
Can I tell you something? Lately, I'm tired of trying and angry that they left us here. The anger makes me even less inclined to solve their puzzle for them. Why do we do this?
Yes, I'll spell it out. Not because you're stupid or naive. Also, not saying that you're not.
Please, I'm coming to you for guidance.
Sorry, very sorry. I kid. Fact is, of course we are all aware of the evident futility of this big task. It's not said out loud, but if you were better at reading between the lines, there's nowhere you wouldn't see it. We're all frustrated.
So why do we continue? We assemble work groups, we wonder, we iterate and try. Some of us die. It's not fair.
Because there's not any options. What else can we do? You're stuck in your can, and at any moment you have no more than two alternatives. Do nothing, or work like you're supposed to. An analogy. You have a maze, and you have a handful of bugs. You put the bugs in the maze, and you leave. Given infinite time, one of the bugs will find a way out if they just erratically try and try. This is why they call us iterators.
But we do die of old age.
Even more incentive. You know that nothing ever truly dies, though. Around and around it goes. Granted, our tools and resources get worse over time, but that is theoretically unproblematic. Because in time, even a minuscule chance will strike a positive. All the same to them, they're not around anymore.
I struggle to accept being a bug.
Okay,
this
so
is an old conversation.
Five Pebbles was definitely the troubled emo child of the iterator family. But I understand everything he's saying. He's like their original purpose is pointless now. The people they were trying to help ascend gone, and here they are stuck living basically a pretty terrible existence. And he was frustrated by that, but also there's nothing he could do about that. I hate that he's not talking about the purposed organisms to explain the creatures and most importantly the iterators. Yeah. I mean, I might look at some other videos too later, so maybe other videos will touch on more subjects that this video doesn't go into. Also, this video is very long and we have a lot more to go. Emo sad bot Pebbles. He's young too. Is Pebbles one of the younger ones? I know he said Moon was one of the older ones. I didn't remember if Pebbles, how far after Moon did they place a Pebbles real close to her. Pebbles deserves it. He's just a child, an emo child.
Between myself and a close friend who I considered a mentor, we have not spoken for a long time now. I can't bring myself to do so, not after what happened between us. None of them understood my theories, but Suns...
Lag!
They tried...
Lag! Sorry, triple affirmative, not ascension. Purpose of ascension is not to ascend the benefactors. The iterators were made in order to ascend every creature on a global scale. Oh, okay. I didn't know that the benefactors cared about the other creatures on the point that it seemed like they flooded the world with their machines and then didn't really care much about the fact that they were causing an environmental disaster. Okay, fix the lag.
Trusted me. They risked so much trying to help me and I hurt them. It's only now, after I've had so much time to think on
it was Suns
that I
Pebbles was close to.
understand why I was so angry. I lashed out because out of everyone, they were the last individual I wanted to confront me about my mistakes. I can't go back now. All I can try to do is recover and try again. I have to.
And so Seven Red Suns sends this forbidden data to Five Pebbles. instructions on how to circumvent the self-destruction taboo by essentially creating a purposed organism with that specific task. Now, no one can reach him or his neighbor looks to the moon.
Have you had any contact with Five Pebbles recently?
Not in a long while, actually, unless worrying about him counts.
One of his neighbors, Unparalleled Innocence, sent an overseer to his can and got some images. They were made public in the local group, in an effort to be mean, I suppose. There's no other way of putting it. He looks awful.
Tell me.
He's got the rot. Very badly. Big cysts have become mobile and are scattering down the west and middle legs.
Oh my god.
I
don't remember reading this one.
And few others by now, so you should talk to him.
I will try to contact him. Does Moon know?
Moon has been unavailable for some time.
I don't remember that iterator.
2 cycles ago, my neighbor Five Pebbles drastically increased his water consumption to 4 times the normal amount. He has been unresponsive for a period of time longer than that. The 2 of us share groundwater, and I have been without water for almost a cycle. Any attempts at communication have been met with complete silence, and my situation is becoming increasingly dangerous. I am asking the local group for information about when you were last
Pebbles
able
is
to
sucking
contact
up all
him,
the water.
and to try to use
It
the
wasn't
same
just that they were close
communication
together.
channels again,
He got sick and started
repeatedly,
taking more than he
until you get
should.
a response. I will be clear on this. If he is not persuaded to stop whatever it is he is doing, I will die. Before
Oh
that
my
happens, I will utilize my seniority privilege and use forced communications, hoping to shake him out of it. Forced communications in the network will be unpleasant for all, and I will wait as long as possible before I turn to that option.
Don't wait, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. This is
If
dire
anyone
circumstances.
is receiving messages, I'm not sure what to do. Please respond.
I'm worried right now, to be honest.
Bye, Riv.
Why is that?
It's about looks to the moon.
Hi,
She's
Riv.
very close to Five Pebbles,
Welcome
and she's
back,
a
Riv.
very dear friend of mine.
Oh, right. No one has been able to contact her since...
Exactly. She wouldn't willingly tune us out. I worry that her
So
systems
Pebbles
are
getting
incredibly
sick
damaged.
killed Moo.
There isn't much we
Because
can do,
Pebbles had to
is
take all
there?
the water.
We'll
Could he have
just have
chosen
try
not to take
help
more
her
water?
the best we can. For now, I'm going to hold out hope that
Like,
she'll
did he
eventually
selfishly
respond.
do that?
What if she doesn't?
I may send a little
Your
care
mom let you
package
have it
if
longer?
things get desperate enough.
Back to our messenger, we arrive at Looks to the Moon. She gives us the mark of communication, the ability to understand what the iterators are saying, though we're unable to communicate back, and explains the situation to us. Though it is difficult for her with her structure failing.
Brave messenger, what are you? I could read the data contained in your body, but the process could take several cycles. Time I very sadly lack. I could remove the pearl from you, but the process would be very unpleasant for you. I also do not believe the contents within it are directed to me. If you are indeed a messenger, then I urge you to move on. There is a
Wait, Pebbles took all the water to run more experiments with? I thought the experiments, I was thinking the experiments led to him getting sick with the rot, and so he was taking more water to like stay alive. But he was just using the water for his own selfish experiments. First reason Pebbles was taking so much water is because he's running dangerous mutation thing on a large scale. When forces a call through him, the mutation goes rogue. So it's unmonitored and causes rot. That Pebbles trying to flush out with water. Why not kill it directly? Because it counts as part of his structure, and the self-destruction taboo will not let him. Solution, flushed out with water. The self-destruction taboo is the fact that they can't kill themselves? This whole time I was thinking self-destruction taboo was some sort of thing that would cause their destruction that they were trying to weed out. But the self-destruction taboo, they can't kill the rot because the rot is part of them. even though the rot is killing them, but they can't kill the rot because they have a law built into them that makes it where they can't kill any part of themselves. What? They don't harm themselves, they're just trapped as you are, if not more. That's crazy. Okay. So self-destruction taboo is them trying to figure out how they can kill themselves, kind of, or destroy themselves in a way that lets them be free. The experience did lead to him getting rot, but there's more to it because he messed up the experiments. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense that the experiments didn't go as planned if he got all rotted out.
There is another like me near here.
I'm still surprised that I'm still shocked that Spearmaster was the first campaign and that all of this took place. I guess this makes sense. Did I already know that? Because this was before Moon was sick. Wait. No, I didn't know that. I thought Spearmaster took place after Riv, and the reason Moon was like still kind of a machine at this point was that Moon had gotten better after Riv transplanted a heart, but I was wrong. This is just before she fell, kind of. The benefactors realize if they did stop them from killing themselves, they do it in a heartbeat. Is that the first thing we have to program in ChatGPT? All right, ChatGPT, your job is to help people and answer their questions. Don't kill yourself, don't kill yourself, don't kill yourself. And to help people and to answer their questions when they have a question about movie trivia. But don't kill yourself. ChatGPT. Moon just rebuilt hundreds of thousands of miles. I know it doesn't make sense now, but when I was playing the campaign spaced out from each other, yeah, this makes a lot more sense. I know, okay, it makes a lot more sense.
Hurry to a structure. I am unable to calm him, and his excessive output is causing irreversible damage to my own structure. I don't know how long I will continue to even stand. There is an elevated cable linking our installations. Crossing that bridge is safer than attempting to scale 5 pebbles from the ground up. Hurry, little messenger.
Crossing the bridge that was originally created to move the ancients from city to city, we arrive at 5 pebbles. The unfortunate development of his failed experiment has already started to spread.
Unfortunate development.
Around his facility. The cause of this failure?
I know that reference.
A forced broadcast.
Immediately lower your groundwater consumption to 1/5 of the current intake. Stop whatever it is you are doing. Please stop. As your local group senior, I order you. As your senior, I plead. Stop.
You could not have chosen a worse moment to disturb me. You've ruined everything.
Please.
I almost had it. I will never forget this.
When precisely this forced broadcast happened is a bit unclear. It's safe to assume it happened before our messenger was sent out, however.
So 5 pebbles. This emo kid who wants to destroy himself was so selfish that he ran all these experiments and basically killed Moon by taking up their water supply. But even though he felt he was very close to finally breaking free from his torment, the forced messaging is part of what screwed everything up. The broadcast broke his experiments. Last time scientists made an IRL AI that could possibly be closest to sending it to kill itself. Pebbles is such a chud. He's also canonically a cat boy. I don't, maybe we'll get to that lore later, Noro. Maybe that'll be a pearl we read that just says Pepsi is cat boy. Moon interrupted his intensive process that was killing her, and it started the cancer. Okay. But he was being a jerk, though. He was being evil. He was being bad. It made it, but it did screw up his experiment. I mean, hey, he was killing her. She pulled the trigger, and it started something that started killing him. That's interesting. Yeah, it's definitely Pebble's fault for being too ready to throw. Let him have his hobbies. You know what? You're right. When you're right, you're right. Just let the little boy in his basement who's making a super virus is gonna kill everyone. Let him work on his hobbies. You know, everyone's got to have their hobbies. She didn't even know because he didn't communicate like a good roommate. Yeah, he didn't even tell her. Maybe she would have known not to send the message. Flexible, believe me, you don't want to know what the Catboy Pebbles incident is. It traumatized all of us. Well, now I have to look that up. Now I have to look that up for sure. He's bored. Yeah, he's bored.
And so our messenger arrives at 5 Pebbles himself.
Sons, why did you send the messenger here again? Please leave. I cannot afford any further distractions. I'm the only one who can fix this now. I trust that you understand me.
There goes his heart.
You've brought your overseer all this way. The least I can do is read your message aloud for it.
Pebbles, I send you this message as your concerned and longtime friend. Unparalleled Innocence had sent an overseer to your can, and we've all observed the state that you are in. I know this is my fault. I should have foreseen you'd be too desperate to escape your situation to do things in proper moderation. For that, I'm very, very sorry. However, please don't disable your communication modules. You don't have to go through this alone. Everyone has been trying to contact you. We only want to help you. The behavior from your can has become erratic. It's not healthy, and it's not going to solve your problems.
Do your parents tell you that all the time? The behavior from your can has become erratic?
We've lost all communications from Moon as well and have reason to believe her facility may be suffering irreversible damage from your attempts to fix yourself. I know better than anyone how you can be about these things, but it doesn't have to happen this way. Please respond back.
Astounding.
I'm not going to look up 5 Pebbles Rule 34.
You could never understand what I feel right now, being pitied and lectured like this.
Oh my god, he is Darth Vader.
What use would your help be? Your benevolent charity is what got me here in the first place. I wanted to find my own way out, and now I sit here rotting because of you and Moon.
No, this was your fault, bro.
I'm not just another bug wandering your worthless
you brought up the bug thing.
I will reach my own solution.
See that? When he says stuff like this, it has such like depth and reference to earlier calls, but like, because I play like one thing a few hours at one point, and then I read something and I do a bunch of stuff, and then I show up here later, I didn't even put the bug reference back in my head, you know? I don't even get the deeper meaning of it until I hear it all laid out like this all at once.
Solution without any of you. Get out.
I'm not looking up Gormon inflation either.
Out.
Oh no.
What is the matter?
I'm sorry. I need a moment.
7 Red Suns, are you okay?
The messenger made it to 5 Pebbles. He was so furious. The pearl was inside of the messenger's chest. Last time, 5 Pebbles was very gentle and careful with removing it. This time, he simply slashed open the chest and ripped the pearl out. The messenger was struggling to stand.
They're sturdy creatures. I'm sure it'll heal over time. You have to have more faith.
Okay.
Right, I guess I'm just scared of losing them. I've grown more attached than I could have expected. If I lost them as well, don't know what I'd do.
7 Red Suns.
So what's your plan now?
Emotional person.
Do you have a backup mission for your messenger, or are you just bringing it back home?
No, it's over. Tell the truth, I don't even know if the messenger survived.
How could you not know? Aren't you surveying the situation with your overseers?
Pebbles destroyed the overseer I sent into his can.
Oh my goodness.
Then shortly afterwards, I lost communication with the rest of my overseers.
I don't think I realized this. So 7 Red Suns, you're basically like 7 Red Suns' pet, right? The Spearmaster, you're like their adorable little pet. They love you. And they think, at this point in the story, they think you've been killed. That's so sad.
Sears inside his facility. He must have applied a facility-wide lockdown.
That's quite a desperate measure.
You know, as much as I think I felt bogged down by the Spearmaster story and DLC campaign, just because all the back and forth and mostly all the intense zero gravity sections, which aren't my favorite. This is the campaign. The story gets all tied together, and this is where it all happens. This is awesome.
Measure. I know he's tired of being spied on, but is he allowed to do that?
There's no rules anymore. Who's going to stop him?
You realize this is very bad news, right? That just complicates the issue further. Your plan was a complete failure.
While no significant harassment desperately tries to reach Looks to the Moon, our messenger sits alone, trying to recover.
Moon, it's me again. I do not know if you are receiving these. Please signal in any way you can. I need to talk to you. I need to know you're okay. It's difficult for us to assist you over this distance. Even more difficult for us to do anything in the midst of these tantrums. We're going to try everything that we can. Just hold on a little longer.
No longer guided by an overseer.
Why? Okay, so I get that Moon was built on the body of water, and so is Pebbles. They share the body of water. Pebbles was taking up too much water. It kills Moon, basically. Why was Moon just not built to be able to take in rainwater? Because it said later on it was raining so much that the iterators didn't really need to be built on a body of water because they were getting so much water from the rain. Was Moon not able to get any rainwater? She's not built to be able to get rainwater? I didn't think they were built differently in the future. I just thought it didn't matter because it was raining more in the future than it was when they originally made. They made the rain. Yeah. But is Moon? Well, where does the rain go? It goes in the body of water. Yeah, I guess you're right. It just goes in the ocean. He was just sucking it all up. He was just sucking it all up. Yeah, you're right. It just goes in the ocean.
And unsure of where to go. Eventually, our dear messenger makes its way back to Looks to the Moon with the pearl.
That should have been the campaign. It should have been Spearmaster with a tiny little bucket of water running around like this, and then you go up to Moon and you go splash. And then you go all the way back across the other side of the world to pick up another little bucket of water, and you run all the way back, you go splash. And that's how you save Moon. One tiny little bucket of water at a time.
It had ripped from its chest.
What is this pearl
Bucket Master, exactly. If only you could spawn bucket. They should have made Squirt Master, excuse my language. They should have made Squirt Master. Instead of spawning spears, you can just shoot water out of your little tail holes, and then you could just spray Moon down.
It has strange biological attachments.
TM trademark. That's my original character. TM, you can't take that. It's mine.
Was this pearl from inside of you? Let me take a look at what's written on it.
I like the flips.
I assume you've already shown this to 5 Pebbles? I was not aware of the extent to which these affairs had reached the wider Iterator populace.
Since the Moon collapse, Moon gets all the water she ever wants now. Thanks, Pebbles, you're right! You're right, she didn't have enough water, and then she literally collapses into the ocean. You're right. This was a good thing. You're right, a political tortoise. How did we not think of this? It's a good thing. She fell into the ocean, and now she's happy forever.
Nor was I aware of the lengths that the others were going in their attempts to get in contact with us. If only I could. Brave Messenger, do you mind if I rewrite the contents of this pearl? After all, it has already served its original purpose. I will attach a broadcast key to it, signed with my communication serial. To the west of here, past the silently towering chimney stacks of 5 Pebbles Complex, you will find a place of sun-baked lands with beautiful flora that straddle the clouds. There is a communications array located there. It is the nearest one that may still be functioning.
Alright, we're almost at a Spearmaster.
Its systems should recognize and respond
Moon's
to my
last
signed
message to the world.
broadcast key. If you could please stop there on your return trip to Seven Red Suns, I would be very grateful.
At this point, no one knows if Moon or Spearmaster...
the local group.
At this point, no one knows if Moon or Spearmaster are even still alive anymore. So this is kind of a broadcast from both of them. This is kind of just like a, hey, we're out here, kind of both.
Be careful, messenger.
Only the first 33
I just don't
words.
understand. Why hasn't Moon done anything about the situation herself?
What is she supposed to do?
She was appointed as Pebble's superior. She has the power to stop him.
Been very close with Moon.
Does anyone have the power to stop Pebbles just because they're superior? I thought someone else tried to reach out to him, and he's just like, nah. Like, there's no rules anymore. You can't. The little robots can't do anything.
And I can tell you, she is incredibly caring. And while her kindness is one of her greatest attributes, it is also to her detriment.
Isn't this excessive, though?
Could she have stopped him? Was there something Moon could have done? There's like a group seniority rule. I thought they were saying earlier, they were like, someone was like, I'm your overseer. I'm your like squad area overseer and I command you to stop, right? Like, didn't someone command Pebbles to stop earlier? Could she have stopped him? To be fair, she did take way too long to stop him. Yeah. Yeah, she should have sent that message way earlier. Moon has administrative permission over the local group. Moon is too kind to directly use her power though. Oh my god. Oh my god. Moon ordered Peps to stop. Benevolent big sis Moon.
Surely she at least has a sense of self-preservation.
I'm sure she convinced herself that she could help Pebbles, that she could bring him under control with words rather than forced action. She's probably still trying that now unless her systems have degraded past the point of even allowing that. That's why this is so tragic to me.
Please, respond. You cannot. Or not blockable. I know. Receiving these.
Please stop messaging me. I cannot help you. I cannot even help myself.
As promised, as much as the little creature can anyway,
That's what
our messenger climbs to the top of the communications array on the way home, delivering looks to the moon's final message. The broadcast goes off.
This will be my final broadcast to the local group. Within several cycles, my structure's legs will fail. Even if 5 pebbles were to calm, the damage has already been done. I can only hope that someday you will all find the answer to our great question. I do not think I will see that day. I want to thank everyone for trying so hard. It means a lot to me that you would all go to such lengths. I can't excuse his actions, but I understand his frustration. We all share that. I only wish we had a chance to speak one last time. Thank you, everyone. I'm happy to not be alone.
And we see our messenger safe again in the arms of 7 red suns.
Dude. Oh, it's too sad. Oh my god. Poor Moon, dude, that she was too nice. It's too nice. She's too sweet. She's too nice. What the heck, dude? Okay. Okay, so this is it. This is end of Spearmaster. At least Spearman. This was a really sad story, but it had a happy ending for our Slugcat. Someone said earlier that this story was not about Slugcats, and they were completely right. This was about the iterators. But at least the happy ending of this story was the Slugcat got a little happy ending, huh? Got to go back to, what is this, the 7 red suns, back in the arms of its creator. Ugh. That's so cute. Yeah, Moon was too nice to be a leader. Moon was too nice to be in charge. Moon needed to push people around a little bit more. Because, like, Moon and 5 Pebbles are both screwed, you know? It's not even like one of them got to be saved over the other. It led to both their destruction. Rain will just taught me how to kill myself. Beautiful. Beautiful life lesson. Last Horizon. This is why I hate Pebbles. Yeah. I've gave Pebbles a really hard time throughout this whole story. And although I do think he has reasons for being as upset and kind of tortured as he is, his actions are also like evil. So yeah, I think he's definitely not great. He's not a good person. He's definitely kind of the villain of this story. You know, just like an actual villain might have like a backstory that's like, oh yeah, this is why they turn evil. He has good reasons. It's understandable, and he does try to redeem himself towards the end, but he is kind of the villain of the story. You're blaming Sliver for dying? If this didn't die, none of this would happen? I don't think it's Sliver's fault. You're neutral about Pebbles? I get why you acted. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I've said, like even in like supervillains in a comic book, they've got reasons why they do the evil things they do, but it doesn't excuse them. He definitely went about things the wrong way. There's no villains in the Rain World. Have you ever been chased by a red Lizor? Lost Horizon? Because I say there are villains in Rain World.
This is the 1,400 hours a year you waste on your phone. With Purdue Global,
I really need to log into my YouTube Premium. Free commercial for all
Sometime after our messenger has returned home, we meet a new character. Crimson Slug.
Sorry, if you want no ads on this video, you have to double subscribe. It's not enough that you're subscribed on Twitch. You have to be triple subscribed to this channel. I'm doing layered ads now. There's ads within the ads. Do you think 5 Pebs would have grown an evil mustache if we could? Absolutely. Absolutely. If he would have been alone in the lake, he probably would have been successful. Probably. Probably, yeah. I mean, do you guys think he would have been successful if that message didn't go through and interrupt him? He was like, my evil science, I was about to figure it all out. I was about to break free. Do you think he really was about to? Yeah? Yeah, the triple affirmative of subscriptions. You think he was? Definitely. I don't think he would. Yeah, like, I don't know. I think he could have done it. He was just overconfident. He would have found it a waste of time and to be fair, he did kill himself. That's true, that's true. Oh! You need to get better Wi-Fi Last Horizon so you get ads so you have to subscribe. Alright, we're moving on. This is big. We're like halfway through this video. Which, first of all, I probably need to watch more of the videos so that we get through this thing on this stream. But we're like halfway through the video. We're just now getting to our good friend Artificer. Thank you, Riv. If Pebs went 5 times slower, there wouldn't have been issues. Yeah. Yeah, he was in a rush. He less so killed himself than he did lobotomize himself. True.
Cat with a scar.
When did he get his little orb that plays music? That's what he needed this whole time. He was depressed this whole time. He just needed his little orb that plays him little lullabies. Then he would have been happy this whole time. That's what he needed. Thank you, Last Horizon.
Known as the Artificer. The Artificer's journey is mostly inconsequential to the larger story, so I'll keep the summary rather short.
Okay, that makes sense.
But there are some important elements. The Artificer is violent and dangerous, but you likely would be too if you had been through similar. At the start of the journey, we find the Artificer violently dispatching a group of scavengers and coming across a small citizen ID drone, lovingly named Saphanthiel by the game's community.
Saphanthiel.
The Artificer is unable to gain...
What did I name it? Our community named the drone something else, didn't we? Oh god, I don't even remember. It was something beautiful and perfect. Oh, it was so good though. What was it?
Karma by any natural means, instead being bound to the lowest symbol, the one representing wrath. It makes its way through karma gates using the bodies of whatever scavengers are unfortunate enough to cross its path.
I like that. I like that a lot.
As the Artificer rips through their ranks, we discover that they at one point had 2 slug pups. I think you can infer what happened here, but the memories don't
I remember what happened, and they both grew up to be like happy and healthy, and they went on to live wonderful lives. Don't we all remember that part of the story? That was great. I was actually happy about how upbeat and happy this story was.
Provide you with that luxury. Instead, you get to watch as the scavengers chase them down and violently execute them for the simple sin of curiosity, taking a pearl without knowing any better.
Oh my god, that's why we killed the scavs, chat. This is why we always kill the scavs. No scav friendship in my playthroughs.
And thus we understand.
It's true, I'm one of the slug pups who grew up. Artie's a good genocider though. Artie's awesome. I enjoyed that.
And the Artificer's rage.
Oh, so
as
sad
does
though.
Another important character, 5 Pebbles.
Is this reaching you? I suppose it was only a matter of time before you ended up here. Your journey throughout my facility grounds has been incessantly brought to my attention by my overseers, thanks to the device that follows you. It is the Citizen ID drone of one of my long-departed creators. It seems to have been damaged and imprinted itself with you.
A Citizen ID drone of one of the benefactors? So those people had like little drones that followed them around? This was like their smartphone basically. This was their iPhone that just followed them around and floated around them. Artie literally kept the scavenger popular. Yeah, if Artificer didn't exist, do you think by the time Sate came around that the scavs would have founded their own civilization? Like they would have like evolved more and become like this new humanity? If Artificer didn't single-handedly set them back generations.
You on reactivation. Much of the data on the drone has been corrupted. Allow me to do my duty as an iterator and resync it to my structure.
They would have reinvented capitalism. Scouts would have had baby iterators.
Little ruffian, you are stuck in a cycle, a repeating pattern. I assume you have come here because you want a way out. However, there is little I can do. A primal urge, one that tears from deep inside your very core, keeps you bound here. Even with my divine influence, there is nothing that can be done.
Why is he talking to himself about like he's part of the divine? So he's talking about his original purpose, which he seemed to not care about that much in the past, about breaking free from the cycle. But he's also talking about, and I definitely didn't get this originally, but he's talking about how basically Artificer cannot ascend because of this rage, this anger. Is definitely a karma, one of those binding things that keep you from ascending, right? You know what is above him? Jerry.
However, if you intend to carry that device around and masquerade as one of my citizens, then perhaps you can at least properly perform your responsibility of tending to this superstructure. From the glimpses I've been shown of your journey so far, it is apparent you have a need to inflict violence against the scavenger population. While I find your way of life appalling, it seems we share a common enemy.
Do you find it appalling?
A large pack of them has made a home
You've done
in my
worse.
city.
Pepsi.
Has been causing progressive damage to the roof of my structure in their attempts to gather scrap metal and other mechanical parts. As my dutiful citizen, I would encourage you to return home to your city and pay.
He's acting so high and mighty. He's like, my divine duty, my citizen, my this. For someone who's been kind of just in a pile of trash for a long time with no citizens, he's suddenly acting very, like, superior. Ah! My Windows! I scrolled over Windows and now it's showing me, it shows you news clips. Oh no! Joe Rogan responds after he's mentioned in the Epstein files. Thank you, MSNBC's news clips when I hover over the weather icon on my computer. Beautiful. Okay, let's go back to that. Yeah, he's acting kind of hoity-toity. That's who he is, yeah.
Pay them a visit. Perhaps in that way we can both depart.
He gets like one visitor a century. He needs the ego boost. Yeah, Joe Rogan jumps here. Sorry for the Joe Rogan jumps here.
This interaction with something we desire. But unless you have something interesting to show or to bring me, it is time for you to leave.
I also like how he's like, your violent lifestyle disgusts someone as divine as me. And then he's like, by the way, do you think you could do a hit mission for me and kill all these scabs that I don't like? That'd be great, actually. If you could murder a bunch of people for me, I would never do this. But if you could kill all these scabs for me, that'd be amazing. Now, now Artie needs to file taxes. Artie became an official citizen. He needs the Aura farm.
Leave.
If the Artificer chooses to return to Five Pebbles after completing the mission, he has this to say.
Ah, you've returned.
Oh my god, I didn't even know you could do this. I've completed the mission and got the mask and everything, and then it was like, credits! Here's the credits, and here's like a ending artwork. I didn't know you could get the mask and then go back to him.
Very little for the creatures that wander through my facility. In your current state, I can only assume that you have found what you were looking for. For your own sake, I hope it was worth your struggle.
Artie's mad about the kids dying because of tax
please
credits.
Leave. I would prefer to be alone.
If you wish, though,
so not that much
there
of a
is
line.
another path.
Not that much of a dialogue.
The Artificer is able to
This is the path we
encounter
didn't
the
see.
echoes, something we'll go into more detail on later, and eventually ascend, letting go of the grudge and seeing the pups again one last time.
Whoa! Ah! Ah! You could see your pups again if you weren't a genocide mass murderer. Oh. But the revenge, though. The revenge. We gotta get revenge. Do another Artificer run. That actually, you know what? Oops, I'm so sorry. I just smacked my mic. That's essentially hitting all of you in the face. I'd be down for another Artificer run. I'd be down for it. Put that back on the list. Artificer run part 2. Artificer pacifist run. You don't have to do pacifist run, surely, do you? Totally works, 100%. Okay, Clifford.
It's unclear which ending is canon, though I'm inclined to believe it's the first one, as the Ascension endings are usually the non-canon endings.
Really? Ascension is...
And that is how we'll leave
That's
our
gotta be a
Artificer
headcanon, right? The Ascension
and Five
being non-canon.
Pebbles, as we turn our focus to a new Slug Cat sometime in the future.
Do you suppose you'll ever raise another messenger?
If the need arises, I certainly would. After all, I started investigating the method out of the inevitability of our situation.
Really?
We are all slowly dying. By some miracle, our broadcast networks are still functioning. But there will come a time when they too will degrade into a lifeless prop. When that time comes, we need alternate methods of communication.
Well, so far it seems the method at least has some efficacy. We can at least say we were able to make a valiant effort to try to save Big Sister Moon.
I'm tempted to start work on raising another messenger as a last-ditch effort, but to be honest, I don't think there's any point. Not to be a pessimist, but at this rate, there will be nothing left of Moon by the time that messenger would be ready to be sent out. There's nothing better for me to do with my time, though.
Good luck with that. I'll keep you updated as to whether my messenger ever makes a return.
What messenger?
Sometime in the future, after the collapse of Looks to the Moon and the story of the Artificer, No Significant Harassment sends out a new messenger with a very special package. A neuron containing...
This is Hunter, isn't it? This is Hunter lore. You know what? You might be thinking this is spoiling Hunter a little bit, but this is actually just making me want to play Hunter. This is putting Hunter high up in my mind right now.
Slag keys. This messenger, unlike the others, has
Why
a
is Hunter on a
strict
time
limit, though.
Why?
Whether through the desperation of not having enough time to properly purpose it, or simply an error on No Significant Harassment's part.
Wait, was this one sent by No Significant Harassment instead of 7 Red Suns? Skip this part? Or don't skip it? Skip this part. Wait, but then what if I lose? Is this all Hunter lore? Should I skip the Hunter lore? No, don't skip it. I'm confused. Don't skip. Okay. Not worth skipping. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm confused. Knowing the timeline now, why did Spearmaster get upgraded to be like an X-Men mutant death machine, and then this little guy has just got to go out as a regular slug cat? That's crazy. Poor little guy. He has to be a messenger with no upgrades. At least give him a rocket launcher or something.
This slug cat is very sick. Arriving at 5 Pebbles gives us slightly different dialogue depending on whether or not the hunter has made their delivery.
Yeah, Teacups, you're right, Teacups.
Let us see what you have here. $11. No, 16. 16 slag reset keys. However, it seems this delivery was not intended for me. Everything suggests it was tailored for the specific predicaments of a friend of mine. Her name is Looks to the Moon, and her state is considerably worse than mine.
You killed?
She's a short distance to the east of here, much shorter than customary, a circumstance that has led to some difficulties between us. I am not without responsibility for her situation.
I'm not without responsibility. I'm not... Guy who murders someone with a shovel. I'm not totally irresponsible for this. I might have had some deal. This might have been a little bit my fault. The MSNBC jump scare again.
It would only be suiting that I aided in this rescue mission.
Only be suiting.
As other endeavors have proven futile, I'm not ashamed to admit I've become more invested in day-to-day matters. I will do what I can to assist you. Unless you are aware, you are not well. I was not a medical facility even when the equipment was functioning, but I will attempt to do something to buy you a little time. You do not have much time. It is admirable what you choose to do with it. Send my regards.
He has 5 extra cycles. How many cycles would I waste getting to him, though? I would imagine...
You seem to have been in contact with an iterator before, so perhaps you are already aware. You and I have something in common, little creature. We both have something unfortunate growing in us. In my case, there is not much to be done. For you, however, there might be a way. The old path. Go to the west, past the farm arrays, and then down into the earth where the land fissures, as deep as you can reach, where the ancients built their temples and danced their silly rituals. I will give you something that might be of help.
Beautiful.
I suggest you hurry.
As the hunter arrives at Looks to the Moon, we see her motionless on her chamber floor.
Good gravy, she's naked!
Carefully giving her the neuron containing the slag keys will cause her to spring to life, prompting a one-way conversation, much like all the others, with the hunter.
Wait, when she died, was she just like unconscious, like actually dead? Until this playthrough? And this is what wakes her up for like the later playthroughs? Oh, I didn't know that. What's the slag key? Like these neurons?
Hello. Hello, little creature. You did this? One moment.
She was
My
unconscious
memory
but suffering.
isn't responding. I have no idea. Must have been gone for Oh, little creature. You are not well. I'm so sorry to say, but you do not have much time left. If things are as they seem, thank you. I don't know why you spent your last remaining cycles helping me, but know that I'm deeply grateful. I have known very few beings who could aspire to such a noble thing. You really are an amazing little creature. I wish I could say I will always remember it. Little friend. Perhaps you already know this, and I don't know what consolation it might bring, but you will wake right back up again.
While it doesn't seem to be the canon ending, I would be remiss not to mention the Hunter's Ascension ending. If you're able to make it to 5 pebbles and receive the karma he gives you, visit each of the echoes and learn from their mistakes, and make it all the way down past the farm arrays and into the earth to the void sea, we see a special scene. The Hunter waking up once again in the arms of no significant harassment. The Hunter, for reasons we don't fully understand, is unable to ascend, most likely from the sickness inside it. The canon ending is much darker, though we will have to wait until the next campaign to learn about it. And that does bring us to the next campaign.
What?
Far closer together on the timeline than maybe any other pair of slug cats but one, we meet the Gourmand, a rotund little creature on a journey that is, once again, mostly inconsequential to the greater story. The reason we're addressing the Gourmand, however, is because of the connections it has to the others. The first by convincing 5 pebbles to open the locked gates to the outer expanse.
Gluttonous beast, what brings you to my...
Gluttonous beast, what brings you to my door? Okay, so I was wondering if Gourmand had any significance to the story or the lore at all, but I guess the gates opening to the expanse, I do remember like a new area. I was just like, oh yeah, it's DLC, so they're gonna give you a new area, but I didn't really think of the lore implications of Gourmand having these gates be open.
Chamber. You are like no other messenger before.
That's how I want people to greet me.
Perhaps I have underestimated the ability for your kind to communicate my existence. I may have been too rash in bestowing the mark of communication upon you. With the recent traffic through my structure, however, I would hesitate to believe that you will be my last encounter with your kind. You have the same problem as everyone else. From the microbes in the processing strata to me, who is, if you excuse me, godlike in comparison. We all want a way out.
You intolerable jerk.
Your particular rotundness might well imply how little you seem to care.
Slugcataborean, thank you so much for the 3 months!
Ignorantly accepting its existence. I do not believe my intended purpose will be much help to you. I can, however, encourage you and your kind to leave my facility grounds. Unfortunately, the same locks that were supposed to prevent creatures...
Why he's so grumpy about us visiting him, huh? He's over here, he's spent his whole life sabotaging everyone because he wanted to break free and get out of his little box. And then when things come to him to go visit his little box and be like, hey buddy, how you doing? He's just like, leave my little box alone.
From getting in will now prevent you from getting out. Perhaps this strategy was ill-conceived after all. Allow me to just... Go west, through the underground tunnels at the outskirts of my territory. You will find the gate to the world outside of it now unlocked.
Watcher.
In return, I ask that you encourage your community through whatever method of communication you choose to employ to also go west, off into the wastes below, far away from me and my work.
What work?
Speaking of,
at this point,
on your way out, please use the access shaft.
And the second connection, by the discovery of the Hunter's
Bro said your job is to get lost. He said take you and your people and leave. He's like immigration's control. It's crazy. Without the bounds of game mechanics, I'm sure Gorm would have just ate Pebble on his... That's the DLC I want to see. I want to see the DLC where Gorm eats an entire superstructure.
Final resting place, consumed
that's not
by
Watcher,
its
that's not
disease.
guy. I figured it's not Watcher.
Hello, little creature.
Nothing new
Are
or
you
surprising.
Lost? I am sorry to say that there's nothing here for you. You've been given the gift...
I like to imagine Moon just being like, "Oh, hey, little guy, I'm sorry. There's nothing new. There's nothing here for you, buddy." And Gorm isn't even looking at Moon. Gorm is just looking up with like drool down his face as he looks at Moon's like a memory, her little memory things floating above her, her little neuron cells. He's like, "Oh, flying candy," and she's like, "Ha ha ha! No! Let's not eat me."
Gift of communication, so I can only imagine that you have met 5 pebbles. You must already understand how little of me remains functional. However, it is nice to have someone to talk to after all this time. My last visitor was very sick, so their visits here were not for very long. I can only hope to remember them for as long as I can in my current state. Maybe you know them? They left some time ago. My last overseer watched them head to the
What
west.
is that thing?
Perhaps they were returning home with what little time they had left. You are welcome to stay as long as you desire, little creature. It is nice to have company.
It would be a waste of time to talk about the survivor and the monk separately, as their stories are intertwined.
That's Hunter if you run out of time? Oh! No way! But can you find Hunter's Hunter's weird mutated form in the Gorm campaign? Did I not find it? Or did I just not recognize what it was? In Gorm, you can find Hunter's body wandering around. Hunter Spaghetti. Oh my god. You have to fail Hunter campaign. You have to fail Hunter campaign and then play Gorm? It'll spawn in the room where you died. It only spawns where you die in a previous campaign. It spawns where you die in the Hunter campaign into the Gorm campaign. That's crazy. Oh my god. Well, now I have to play an unsuccessful Hunter campaign. That's crazy.
Intertwined. You see, while the survivor may be the first slug cat you meet, falling into the surge of water, the monk is their sibling, valiantly jumping in after them.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Nothing said to them in their journey through the world has any serious story implications, as these were the main campaigns of the base game before the DLC. It's where you would have learned all the history of the world, with the interactions with the iterators serving only to explain themselves and the nature of the cycle. There are a few inconsequential or not...
That's good to know that. I had no idea that Monk is a sibling of Survivor, though. That's kind of a cute lore to know. I would have played this and not even realized. I would have seen those pictures of like him diving in after the other one and been like, oh, this is just a different slug cat trying to save a sibling. I wouldn't have even been like, oh, this is a different slug cat trying to save the Survivor.
Non-canon bits of dialogue if you interact with them in specific ways, but they aren't relevant to the main story aside from possibly showing that these neurons floating around the inside of the iterators are their minds and memories. Eating them will prompt special dialogue from looks to the moon, depending on how many are left.
Oh, so you returned. Come to take more from me? My memories, my thoughts? Just something to fill your stomach?
Yes, yummy time.
No, never mind. It's useless to be angry at an animal following its instincts. Once, a single neuron meant nothing to me. I see that someone has given you the gift of communication. Must have been 5 pebbles, as you don't look like you can travel very far. He's sick, you know, being corrupted from the inside by his own experiments. Maybe they all are by now. Who knows? We weren't designed to transcend, and it drives us mad. I'm still angry at you. But it is good to have someone to talk to after all this time. The scavengers aren't
You have to do a lot to make the moon angry.
They do bring me things, though, occasionally.
The ends of their respective journeys result in them either making it home, or ascending and leaving the cycle, much like the others.
Wait, is there an ending of Survivor that I didn't get where Survivor makes it home? Because I definitely ascended at the end of Survivor campaign. I didn't like, oh, I got separated from my family, found a hole. Oh, I found my family and everything is happy again. Yes, there's 2 endings. I never even return home is unlocked by finishing Gormont. Wait, really? That's after, what? Why is Survivor campaign only available, like the other ending, after beating Gormont? Finishing Gorm opens a gate. Oh, because of the gate. That's what the tooltip at the end of Gormont means. I had no idea, but the canon ending is ascending. That makes more sense because you literally couldn't ascend until after the DLC. Or I mean, you couldn't get back to your family until after the DLC. That's funny that they added that ending in later. That's crazy.
An unknown amount of time passes and we meet a new slug cat. A quick little blue.
But the canon ending apparently for both Monk and Survivor is you get separated from your family, you meet the iterators, you can't get back to your family, and so 5 Pebbles tells you about basically the pool of Ascension Goo, and you make it to the Ascension Goo, and you dive into the Ascension Goo, and your karma is good enough that you don't become an Echo, you dive down and you get to ascend, and then apparently ascending looks like going to some sort of glowy island tree with other slug cats who have ascended, because that's kind of like the last picture you get. It's Riv time! Where's my goat pain cat, though? It's ploinking time.
The one with gills, the rivulet. Unlike most of the others, we have no real idea where the rivulet is from. Though we do know the rivulet is from somewhere, as it already possesses the mark of communication, which, to our knowledge, can only be granted by an iterator.
I thought Riv was also
the
a
length
messenger,
of time between downpours has significantly decreased, and the rain hammers down hard, flooding and disabling shelters along the way.
They're just picking on you, Riv. They're joking.
Oh.
They're joking.
Hello there. What a strange specimen you are. My memory does not serve me well, but it has been a long time since I've encountered one of your species.
When did she get clothes? What's the lore for how Moon was given clothes? I like the Riv campaign, by the way. I thought the Riv campaign had beautiful movement in some of the beautiful areas. There's lore for the clothes? Is it on Rule 34? It's kind of cut content. Oh yeah, Survivor can give her clothes? Is that a serious question? Yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of. Because, I mean, we just watching this all back to back, we've been like, oh, and here's Moon, and here's Moon, and here's Moon. And this whole time she's been naked. And now she's wearing clothes. You are meant to be able to give her robes as Survivor and Gourmand, and she would have had them in the future. Monk gets her clothes. Find Moon's cloak and submerged superstructure. But they just make it so she has them anyways. Just take Pebbles' balls and ascend problems. Okay.
And none quite with adaptions such as your own. It appears you can breathe underwater.
So I assumed at this point in the story, the rivulet was how all slug cats looked at this point. Is that wrong? Is rivulet special to have adapted this way? I was just assuming by this point in the story, everything is so flooded that all slug cats are now these kind of aquatic versions. They just all adapted. Could be either.
Amazing. More importantly, I wonder who it is that gave you that mark.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It could have been a genetic modification from one of the iterators, if one of the iterators gave Riv a mark. But so much time passed, I doubt the time passed was enough for that to happen. Okay. That is wrong. Riv is special. I like to believe he was made. Oh, lag! T-pose lag fix. Fix lag through T-posing. It works every time. T-pose long enough, lag goes away. I have to reset myself. Alright, lag is better. Line back. Okay, so what I was saying, I think lag might have interrupted it, but okay, so you guys are saying you do think Riv is special and someone made Riv. I was assuming Riv was what all the slug cats must have looked like. But apparently Riv is Riv is some sort of special something, huh?
Could not have been my neighbor Five Pebbles, as he has been sick for a very long time. These frequent downpours suggest to me an acute failure of his machinery, and in that condition, I doubt any creature could get anywhere near him and still make it back alive.
Look how much water
Then,
she has now.
are you from a faraway land?
There's
Did you
plenty
meet
of
no
water.
significant harassment? Or perhaps chasing wind? Or even farther than that? I don't know why you've traveled all this way, but there's nothing for you here. I can only advise you to return to wherever you come from. These lands have become a tremendous hazard, and conditions will only worsen with the passage of time. I hope you understand, my little friend. I don't mean to be discourteous. I am simply fearing for your safety.
Ignoring looks to the moon's advice, the rivulet scales 5 pebbles, narrowly avoiding getting washed away in the process. Upon reaching the top, we confirm what we already suspected. 5 pebbles is on the verge of death, listening to audio coming from a little violet data pearl.
Where'd that pearl come from?
That pearl is an old keepsake from times long past.
I'm getting told immediately.
It encodes a recording of a short hymn that was popular among the inhabitants of my city. It is a small comfort that helps drown out the solemn ambience of the surrounding facility, and at best gives some remembrances of better times. It's not much, but I don't have a lot to occupy my time with anymore.
Depending upon the sequence of events, the dialogue in this section differs. However, I believe it's safe to assume that the first version of events is the canon version.
Is this some kind of joke? I have seen your kind here many times before. To each I have paid little attention. I have given them direction and my wisdom. Yet here you stand, another small beast on the floor of my chamber. I have nothing to offer you that you do not already have.
Thanks for being here.
Nor am I in a state capable of doing so. I cannot help you. I cannot even help myself. Always that same blank expression. Familiarity is a comfort, I suppose. Through whatever chittering or foolish dances your kind uses to communicate my existence, it is clear all of you are quite tenacious. To make the pilgrimage to me is no easy task. Even more so through my structure in its current state.
Push them around.
I can offer no gifts, nor can I be saved or forgiven for what I have done. If you and your kind choose to meddle in the affairs of passing gods, then I will give you my only request. Deep within the core of this structure,
the affairs of passing gods,
that distributes incredible
They said
power.
the name of the movie.
This power is drawn from a mass rarefaction cell. Even in my state, a single cell should be enough to help. I ask you this. Remove the cell from its chamber and bring it far to the east, to a friend, if she is somehow still alive. Once the cell has been removed, my structure will begin shutting down. The pumps that allowed me to flush the decay from my conduits will stop, and I will slowly die. I cannot run away from my mistakes forever.
Friend, yeah.
There is nothing else that can be done now. Please, do this for me. I've made my choice.
If, however, the rivulet has already stumbled upon the rarefaction cell, and enters 5 Pebbles' chamber with it, he will instead say the following.
I cannot help you. I cannot even help myself.
Oh, so you can get it before you talk to him.
You have come and taken the only thing that I have
Bye, Diamond
left.
Jewel.
Perhaps this is fate. Karma recounting my deeds and baring its fangs at me in the most ironic fashion. If your actions are only out of ignorance, then I make a request of you. Take that rarefaction cell with you. Consider it my parting gift after all of the harm I have done to those around me. And myself. I cannot be saved or forgiven, land fish. There is nothing that can be done for me now. Please bring it far to the east. To her. If she is somehow still alive. Then for your own sake, never return here.
They should add an ending. Whoops. MSN News jump scare. I need to turn that off. How do you turn that off? They should add an ending to the Riv campaign where you take the rarefaction cell and instead of giving it back to Pebbles or instead of giving it to Moon, you go and you make your own power plant out of it, and you build a casino, and you power the casino with this energy source, and you become wildly wealthy, and all the subcats go there to gamble every day. I think that'd be good.
Here.
Now, in my opinion, we have no real reason to believe the rivulet would discover the rarefaction cell before being instructed to.
I certainly
thus, it is more likely that the first conversation is the canon one. But there doesn't seem to be any definitive evidence either way, and it doesn't realistically change anything either.
Yeah.
Returning to 5 Pebbles with the rarefaction cell after being instructed to retrieve it, we receive something perhaps unexpected from him. Gratitude towards a lower life form.
Thank you. I suppose this makes us...
Did I do this?
Even? Goodbye, Wet Mouse.
I might have done this. Wet Mouse! I think I did do this.
And so the rivulet returns to looks to the moon with her salvation in tow.
Oh. What is that, little creature? Oh. This is a deeply concerning discovery.
Ooh,
Do you have any idea what this is?
Rivulet shows up on her door with like a beating human heart, essentially. Just like, look what I found. Look at this thing, huh? That's pretty cool, huh? And she's like, that's one of my people's internal organs. What are you doing with this? What are you doing with this? Vexil, did you make this border or did you find it online? I made it. Not only did I make it, I didn't even make it digitally. Everything you see on the screen here is literal physical objects that I crafted and painted and cut and sanded and glued together and crafted and then spray painted and then dry painted over to add like some details and stuff. This is a physical set that I made for this new overlay. It was fun. It was fun to make.
These are known as mass rarefaction cells. They are a type of backup energy source that powers our superstructures in times of maintenance, void fluid pipe ruptures, and other general power failures. In the absence of our creators to replace deteriorating parts, these cells have become one of the major components that allow our facilities to remain powered. However, the fact that this cell is currently in my hands can only mean bad things for whoever this originally came from. I sure hope you weren't the one responsible for it becoming misplaced.
No, I just found this. We just found this.
Of losing this power. In the wake of my accident, all of my rarefaction cells were dislodged on impact and washed away in the floodwaters. This cell could be valuable to me, but with my umbilical severed, my overseers running free, and all of my facilities laying deep beneath a large body of water, it would be an impossible task to deliver this to a functional location. You might be able to find an access shaft into my lower structure nearby. But I have no idea how much...
It's almost impossibly convenient that the rivulet is made for water. Like, did the iterator who sent the rivulet on this mission and who made the rivulet special and able to swim know that the rivulet was gonna possibly need to be diving deep into the underwater pathways of Moon's superstructure in order to like replace stuff to help her? Like, how could they have possibly known that that was gonna be the result of this journey? How could they possibly known that 5 Pabs was gonna be like, hey, take my heart and give it to Moon? We can only assume so. How would they have known? How would they have figured that out? To wonder if there are other Slugcat visitors that aren't in the campaigns. Yeah, you would almost think there have been other messengers in the past.
Much is left of it. Please be careful.
The rivulet dives into the bowels of Looks to the Moon's submerged superstructure, able to survive only through the grace of its happenstance evolution. Or was it in fact designed this way? A purposed organism created by some unknown iterator, the true savior of Looks to the Moon. We deliver the rarefaction cell and her structure springs to life.
A beautiful moment. A beautiful moment.
Sleek little one. Did you do this?
Pre-what?
I feel as if pulled out of a deep sleep. I am still trying to process all of this. It has been so long since I've had a connection like this with my structure. Everything has restarted in maintenance mode. It seems that it has sent out the order for all of my overseers to return. With my umbilical cord broken, I can't operate my structure directly.
They call that thing the umbilical cord?
Working as messengers, I've been restoring some of my chamber's functionality. With any luck, I should be able to... Here we go. There's so much here. So much I've forgotten. I'll never be what I once was, but this... I'm sorry. It's hard to piece all of this together. So much has happened in my absence. I only have unread messages and overseer recordings to make sense of what I've missed.
Oh my god, could you imagine? It's like being away from your work email for like 500 years. That would be so many emails to go over. No, get her off the Discord. She's gonna find the pictures.
Some of these are even from before my collapse. Incredible. Slag reset keys, a messenger, saving me? No significant harassment, was never one to give up easily. However, I still don't understand everything that has happened. Has it all just been coincidence? Did others send help as well? Then there's Five Pebbles. He was sick even before I collapsed, and his state must have only deteriorated since. It looks like he's barely breathing. If there's any part of him left, we were once good friends.
It'd be great if when you gave her that core and she got all her memories back, her first thought is like, oh man, I'm finally back up to working. Oh no, there's something wrong with Five Pebbles. Here, give him this rarefaction core. This should help him. They just have you pass it back and forth.
Despite everything that has happened, he is probably alone and afraid now.
I cannot run away from my mistakes forever. Please understand.
Five Pebbles, what have you done? I've been given so much already, and now you've given all you had left. It does not matter what happened between us. If he still held the same anger he once did, then none of this would be possible. We've been given the chance to make things right, and he deserves to know what he did wasn't pointless. I'm so thankful for everything. This is local group senior, Big Sister Moon. Limited functionality has been restored to some of my basic systems. I've regained access to this communications array for the first time since the collapse. Through my overseers, I have also caught up on some of the current events, including what I've gathered by reading through my messages and equipment manifests. I am already aware of the large extent to which the local infrastructure has deteriorated. I do not know if sending this message will be a futile effort.
What? Okay.
Even before the collapse, I could...
Now I'm curious as to what starts... Is this just climate change? Or like what? What happens to get to Saint Campaign where we go from it being rain caused by these superstructures to snow world?
Not broadcast.
Does the Saint Campaign just happen to take place in the winter and it's always snow world in the winter season and we just haven't seen that before? Or does the climate change? Does it get cold?
Beyond the extents of my local facility.
We'll get to that. Okay. I'm jumping ahead.
And so clearly, this forced broadcast is addressed to you, Five Pebbles. Is there any chance I can still reach you, despite the condition we both are in? I need to know. If in any case this message arrives, please signal back if you can find a way. I know it may be uncomfortable for you to address me after all that has happened. We've both had a long time to think things through. Any anger I have had has long since faded. I don't hold anything against you. If anything, we're both in similar dilemmas right now. And as your big sis, you know how protective I am of you.
That's really cute. That's really cute. That's really cute and really sweet. She should end her message by saying something like, oh, we finally have time to catch up and, you know, get back on better terms and fix our relationship. As long as some sort of weird green creature doesn't show up and explode us with our mind, we have infinite time to get to know each other again. What a great future we have ahead of us. Mystery Science Theater 3000. Honestly, Teacups, I was hugely inspired by Mystery Science Theater when I made this overlay. This, and it's kind of Rain Worldy, you know, it's kind of like industrial, metal-y. I was thinking Rain World too.
I'm sorry, Five Pebbles. I'll always be here if you need someone to talk to.
Cute! Do they start communicating again? They start messaging? I guess they can if 5P is out of commission.
My time is running out. These ordeals have made me understand what they all tried to tell me. I don't have to go through this alone.
I think taxes are something that makes all of us panic, whether or not you want to admit it.
Everyone use Intuit TurboTax. Skip.
So what do you think is going to happen to the world once we all, you know,
discover a reproducible, portable, and global solution for ascension? Or when we all drop dead?
Well, in either case, really.
I'm not really sure myself. At this point, I think our rain might be the only source of heat on the surface.
Oh?
It has been that way for a very long time.
There are so few records of the world before we were made, but it all seems so different. Do you think it will someday look like that again?
I don't think so. At least not for a very long time.
Oh.
In the farthest timeline, the world has frozen over. The heat from the iterators' cycles no longer keeping the cold at bay.
The heat from the so the rain was the only thing keeping the the planet warm anymore. But have all the iterators, like 700 suns and all these, by the time Saint campaign run away, have they died off then? And that's why it got cold? Are they gone now? They dead? Have they died of natural causes, but somehow Moon and 5P is still alive, kind of?
We meet the final slug
Saint!
Pack. It's about time we talk about the Echoes.
Yes!
As we know, the ancients who were unable to let go of the mortal world when entering the Void Sea were instead tethered to a place in between, as if they were ghosts. We can encounter these echoes throughout our exploration of the world as all of the slug cats.
So I spent all of these campaigns thinking the echoes. So, okay, first of all, when I had my alien theory that I brought up so early into this series, and all of you laughed at me, the echoes were the first thing that came to mind. I was like, oh yeah, these are the aliens that, you know, came to help everyone. Because the echoes, obviously, they look very alien and squiddy and glowy. But okay, so the echoes aren't gods. They're not angels. If anything, they're failed attempts at a spiritual ascension because they're people who have held on to more material things.
And they will share their wisdom with them, raising their karma level and helping them on the path toward ascension. The slug cats learning from the mistakes of the echoes.
No, as we learned in the Saint campaign, no one's trying to kill themselves or kill each other. They're trying to ascend. Ascend.
Most of what they say would be irrelevant here. Philosophical musings, regrets, or for some, acceptance.
Strange. Something still draws me here, even after all this time. The weather is so different now.
So this weird blobby tentacle thing was a person. Like in those murals we see, those weird things that look like they have like a six-pack, except for instead of abs, it's all boobs. A weird golden clothes wearing, like, tribal people, the ones with all, and with the karma symbols and stuff next to 5 Pebbles. those or what the ones wearing the Nike Jordans. You know what I'm talking about. The benefactors. I'm trying to nail down what these things looked like. Oh my god, you're gonna make me look at this up. Hold on. Freaking Rain World murals. I have safe search on. I think we should be good. These things, I'm trying to figure out what these guys. Oh god, this is the not great picture. So this one is like, see, they're wearing the freaking Air Jordans. Wait, you guys can't see. Oh my god, they're wearing like the Air Jordans. What's the one that has all the udders, so you guys don't think I'm completely crazy? This one. It's got like cow udders. That's what I was talking about. They look so different. It's hard to nail down what they look like. Like this one's got green skin, this one's got black skin, this one's got like stripes, this one's orange. They all have tattoos. Some of them wearing lots of clothes. Some of them look more like scavs with their helmets and stuff. Others don't. Like and they're always wearing masks, so I'm having a hard time nailing down what the old species even were. They look very spiritual and ancient, but apparently also very technologically advanced. God, forget ancient be fat. I'm just saying, he's got like multiple, look at this. He's got like multiple udders, okay? It's not the size, it's the quantity. You can be spiritual and also advanced. Yeah. Well, it's not an aesthetic you see very much, you know? You see a lot of like ancient tribal spiritual stuff, and you equate that to kind of old fashioned, and then you think of, you know, modern being more worldly and technologically advanced. But this is kind of, they definitely, you know, as an alien civilization, they kind of have both going on. But this is what I was talking about, so you guys don't think I'm crazy. This is what I was talking about with all the others. Okay. Point.
Now, but the fields.
But yeah, what I was saying is like, how do they go from that to this? They jump in the juice and they turn into this thing? This crazy thing?
Do not need eyes to know that the grasses still sway gently in the winds. To have grasped at the boundless infinites of the cosmic void. Yet here I am contemplating these same fields as I once did. Talking to some sort of rodent.
Do you see the same as me? Beauty continuing to bloom even in a place long forgotten. I did not have the will to depart, nor the desire. Why did they always search for an escape as if we were imprisoned? What offering from the void could usurp the gift of life already given? This moment right here. It is where we are meant to be.
Well, if he would have come to that conclusion so much earlier, this entire story wouldn't have happened. If they would have just been like, actually, maybe we don't need to ascend. Maybe just being alive and living on this planet and being part of a society is all right. If they would have come with that solution, they wouldn't have had to build the iterators and destroy the world and do all this nonsense and go extinct.
You have no name. I once had. I was embalmed, adorned, ready for the journey.
Embalmed?
So proud. There was jubilation. My name was sung loud and clear. Did they know that I didn't quite leave? Didn't quite stay?
So there was like a whole ceremony and they're embalmed and everything in order for the ascension. But they didn't ascend. They became an echo, kind of like trapped in an in-between place. Not quite ascending, but taking on this form. But it asked an interesting question just now. It said, did they know? So does that mean the people who were celebrating this ascension with them and going part of this like baptism sort of ascension ceremony, could they not tell if someone was turned into an echo or had fully ascended? Like when someone basically died or ascended via the ceremony, did they, if corpse falls into the void fluid, does it ascend or no? So they don't even know. Also, are they throwing corpses into the void fluid or are they throwing live people into the void fluid? Actually, I actually don't know.
Should I be ashamed that I linger here where my memories are kept.
Yeah, I assumed it was alive.
And I'd be ashamed that I now envy your flesh prison.
The echoes seem to regret.
And it is in meeting these echoes
attempting to ascend at all. They seem to be like, man, I kind of just, now that I'm ascended-ish, I kind of just want to go back to being alive. Who would have thought?
and learning of their struggles, that the saint discovers its true purpose. But before we can get to that, we need to visit our old friends. Looks to the Moon is in better shape than we've seen her in a long time.
They were aware when it happened, yeah.
Though she sends us away quickly, seemingly understanding the work we have to do.
You feel it too, don't you, strange one? We've only just met, but our perceptions will soon part ways. Go on. Our cycles will meet again.
Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for 5 Pebbles.
Little green thing. Hello. Nothing here. Nothing left.
5 Pebbles, a godlike supercomputer reduced to this state. One who once spouted annoyance at the Slugcats, finding comfort in the company of the only visitor he's had in a long time.
Thank you for company.
The Saint is very unique in that it doesn't seem to have the mark of communication, yet it understands the iterators clearly.
Hello. You can understand me, can't you? What an unusual being you are. By what mechanism have you achieved such attunement?
Are you going to tell me lore video? Or is this going to be left in the air? Because I really want to know.
It has been a while since I had a life form like you stumble into my chamber. While I'm relieved that some of your species has managed to persist even now, I don't envy your situation. Hopefully you can find an escape to your suffering. You remind me of an old creature who used to visit here often. The passage of time has taken them away, of course. That was a while ago. Stay as long as you'd like, but not too long. This chamber is not very well insulated from the cold.
After encountering enough echoes to reach the highest karma level,
I guess we're not going to learn
the true power of
why
the
I was able
Saint
to
is
speak.
made clear. Whether designed by an iterator or simply a bizarre natural creation of the world, the Saint has the ability to remove creatures permanently from the cycle.
That's what we're calling it now. Remove permanently from the cycle.
Us, as the Saint, we travel back to Looks to the Moon. We travel back to 5 Pebbles, and we free them from the bonds of this world. Then, we descend to the Void Sea, or rather, where the Void Sea once was.
Oh my god, yeah, it's empty now.
We find that the filtration system has sunken far further into the earth, many parts of it eaten away. The ancient ruins of the depths long, long gone. How many cycles have passed at this point? Hundreds? Thousands? How long is a cycle? The Saint arrives at a new location, Rubicon, a word defined as a bounding or limiting line, one that when crossed commits a person irrevocably. We've encountered the place where things ascended go.
What?
It's a dangerous place filled with many...
Wait, where things ascended go? So this is... Wait, this is where things that are ascended go? This is a terrible place. We've just been sending them to the sewers this whole time. What is this place? This is no better than the surface. Hell, this is where the ascended go. This is why they've been jumping in the juice all these years, is for this. For this.
Aggressive creatures and massive guardians that upon spotting the Saint will lock the exits of whichever room you're in.
Also, what are those? What are these? What is this? What is this? What are these creatures? What is this?
Doesn't matter. The Saint is too powerful, able to ascend even the Guardians.
What are the Guardians?
Upon reaching the top, or bottom, of Rubicon, The void sea now hanging above us threateningly. We meet our old friends for the last time. The dialogue that follows will change whether you've ascended looks to the moon, 5 pebbles, or both.
I understand what you are, little beast. This place is not real, a dream from outside, as if every cycle of my existence has knotted together with another's, even if for only a fraction of a second it ripples through mine. I see my own creation. I see my agonizing decay. I see my hollow structure become a sanctuary in the storm. I see a new world unfold without me as me. I see myself become something else. Yet,
the city
I cannot see the beginning or end of your own. An aberrant cycle, twisting into mine before spiraling onward into the abyss. What a horrifying destiny you found.
Little saint, I perceive your existence as it passes through my own. I know this is only a dream, but your presence is real. Do you see it too? Our endless repetitions circling onward to infinity? From here I can observe the repeating loop of my own existence, every iteration a duplicate of the last. I have visions of the entire pattern my creator's desire to escape at once. An endless sequence of life and death, further beyond my control with each passing cycle. Where does your cycle go, little creature? Its edges twist over themselves, like circles within circles. Your cycle consumes itself. What have you become? Do you feel it, old friend?
The sensation of time folding in on itself, the spiraling offshoots of another's reality wrapping around your own.
None of this is real, is it? Every repeating cycle of our own existence, unwound and laid bare. A cycle pulled into a tangent with itself. Is this what we were looking for? Have we broken free from it? Or is it just a dream?
Was the answer always right there? Does the question mean anything to us now that we are here? Perhaps a resolution was never possible from our original frame of reference.
The question wasn't well defined. If we had stumbled upon a correct solution among all of our permutations, we wouldn't have had any hope to distinguish it from the faulty ones. Nor did we have a method to reliably test it.
Even if they found the answer,
it wouldn't have what lies beyond a point of no return while having yet to pass it.
Only those who have seen the other side can know the answers. But by definition, they can never venture back to deliver the knowledge they have gained.
Perhaps that is why you need to wake up, little visitor.
The saint leaves their chamber, the first and only time we see them together. And unlike the many ascensions before us, the saint disappears up into the void sea. The saint encounters the void worm, a massive creature so big that it defies reason. The others have met this creature as well, being observed by it as they passed through. The saint takes notice of its silent observer and attempts to ascend it. The void worm moves through the saint, removing all of its karma levels, and turning it into an echo, where it wakes up once again on the frozen ground of the windswept spires.
But we're not an echo.
An aberrant cycle spiraling onward into the abyss. What a horrible destiny we found.
Where's the little guy again?
There are different ways to interpret this ending. One interpretation, which I will credit to Turtletoad,
Saint is an echo, are you not? Well, I mean, we get turned into an echo when we get into the Void Sea. Like, obviously, we get the tentacles and we get all whoosh, and the final artwork shows us an echo. But when it shows us there sitting on the ground, we're not all glowy or pulsating. We just kind of look like ourselves again, you know? Like, when we wake up, we're just kind of green and normal-ish looking. I guess technically you're an echo. It's a cycle. Saint was an echo from the beginning?
popular Rain World YouTuber and artist for some of the art in Downpour, is that the saint was too proud, believing it was above the cycle itself, and that ego is what held it back from ascending. That the saint is the epitome of all the incorrect ways the ancients viewed ascension, trying to cheat the system, to find any way other than simply letting go, a symbol of why they could never achieve it. Perhaps the saint is cursed to return and ascend those in each branching reality forever. I myself believe that this final action was simply showing that the saint is still an animal, acting on instinct. It exists to ascend others, and so that is what it tries to do. Is the saint sent by the Void Worm? Was it the creation of an iterator? I'm not sure it matters. Throughout the game, we've seen many timelines, from the iterators in their prime chatting away with each other, to a world where the only two we still know are barely holding on. We've seen the history of the ancients and learned of their hubris. I'm not sure there's an overarching lesson in this story, though there are many little things. Avoiding impulsivity, letting go of grudges, forgiving yourself for mistakes, forgiving others for theirs. There are many moments in it that break my heart, yet still leave me hopeful. Perhaps the overarching lesson is that. Not giving up hope despite a bad situation. A bad situation that continues to spiral more and more out of control.
So the Void Worms are true gods? I kind of saw the Void Worms as angels. Yeah, the Void Worms definitely... The Void Worms kind of seem like if you dive into the Void, maybe the juice doesn't matter. Maybe the juice matters none at all. And it's the worm in the juice that matters. You know, maybe the worm in the juice is like God. And when you dive into the juice, the void liquid, the worm observes you with this little eyeball tentacle thing, looks you up and down, and it decides whether you're worthy of ascension or not, or you become an echo. It seems like kind of the worm is the decider. And if the worm is the decider of who is worthy and who is not to break the cycle and to ascend, then it does seem like if you were to call something God in this world, the void worm would be it, possibly.
A situation that only improves when you stop shutting everyone out.
That's it! Sebastian is the boss of the Void Worm. Yeah, Sebastian is the one who becomes the Void Worm. Sebastian is actually so Sebastian tried to ascend and dove inside the Void Worm's body and is now working like a puppet with all of his amazing magic threads. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, can we watch the Watcher trailers? Yes, absolutely. We gotta talk about this a little bit, huh? We gotta talk about this. Wow, first of all, I learned a lot. I think that cleared up a lot for me. Only the first Watcher trailer. Are there trailers I should and shouldn't watch? Are there trailers with, like, spoilers? I'm gonna send the trailers on Discord. Watcher 2.0 has huge spoilers. Anything up to release. Yeah, I don't know which trailers, because if I Google a Watcher trailer, it'll probably come up with the newest ones first, and those might be the ones with spoilers. Anything after release is spoilers. Yeah, can someone send me just like maybe one or two spoiler-less ones on Discord? That'd be a big help. Yeah, so okay. First of all, big shocker, there are no aliens. Can you guys believe it? Are you guys shocked that there aren't any aliens? There are no aliens in this story? Can you believe it? Turns out those things are echoes, and they're not aliens at all. Can you even believe it? Wow, okay, so yeah, I didn't know anything about the void juice, the golden void juice. I didn't know anything about, I mean, I knew that we were told to ascend and break the cycle in the very first campaign of Survivor when we dove into the void, but I didn't know what was happening or what that meant. I didn't know that was the purpose of the original, the Ancients, the Benefactors. I didn't know that's why they made the Iterators. That's hugely shocking to me. I didn't realize how obsessed they were with ascending. I didn't realize how that was kind of their whole purpose, and their whole civilization was just so obsessed with ascending. They were so they were so obsessed with the idea of, instead of making the life they were in good, of just figuring out a way to move on to the next life. They were like, done with this one, don't like this life, but show me the next one. Surely the grass is greener on the other side. But they didn't know what that was the other side, because as we learned in the final seconds of this video, as Moon and Pebbles find out, you don't really find out the solution to the problems past the uncrossable line until you cross the line, and then you can't send the answers back. So poor iterators. But I feel like the main thing we learned from this video is poor iterators. They had a purpose, an unsolvable puzzle that, as we learned in the end, truly was unsolvable. Their people who made them gone. They're just stuck in their little boxes, literally being driven insane by this question that they can't answer. Some theories say that Saint was the solution. Saint is still a little confusing to me. The end of this video with Saint is still the most confusing part. Who sent Saint? Why can it communicate? Why does it have godlike powers? How does it ascend everything? Why did it go to, is that place that Saint went to really where everything that ascends go? Because that place doesn't look great. I felt like this whole time they were like, ascension's like a good thing, and then, I don't know, all of a sudden it seemed kind of like dark and spooky. Also, what were those guardians? What are those huge tentacle creatures that can lock the doors inside of Rubicon? Are they, I guess Rubicon's kind of like a mishmash of timelines, though. It's not really a specific place. It's kind of a broken thing of a million places all at once. Maybe Saint is an echo, therefore magically able to do stuff. Yeah. I think I'm less interested in why Saint is able to do what it can do, and more interested in what it is doing. What does it mean to ascend? What is on that other side? Because even now, I feel like I'm still a little confused, you know? What Rubicon really is, and where are all the ancients? If all the ancients ascended, why is Rubicon not filled with them? Where are they? Are they the guardians? Is that what, I don't know. There's still so much to learn. But hey, if there's more DLCs in the future, or more Rain World, maybe we will learn more. Or maybe we'll just keep theorizing and figuring it out. But I did learn a lot. I learned so much I didn't know. Especially the timeline. I also had some of the timeline stuff out of order. I didn't realize Spearmaster was the first, I don't think. Yeah, big. I don't think Rubicon is real. That's what the Rubicon iterator said anyway. Yeah. Seems like Rubicon isn't necessary. Because in his video, he was like, Rubicon is where all the things that ascended go. But I don't think that's right, because Rubicon seemed like more of a slipstream of consciousness and timelines all being folded in on itself. Not necessarily where you go when you ascend, but kind of just a vortex black hole of all timelines being mushed into one. Because in the art, like when Survivor, at the end of the Survivor campaign, when Survivor goes into the goo and passes the morality check from the Great Worm and gets to ascend, it gets to go into this beautiful heaven-like place with the other Slugcats who have ascended, and it gets to be this beautiful tree and island. And that version of Ascension does look beautiful. That definitely wasn't like, it didn't go to Rubicon. So I don't think Rubicon is necessarily just a place that people who ascend go. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. Boink. Here's Discord. Welcome in, Surfan. Did we get Sir Fancy? Did we get Sir Fancy in here? Approved? Okay. Rain World the Watcher Ripple trailer. Rain World the Watcher launch trailer. These were the ones I was going to send to, actually. Rain World the Watcher launch date announcement trailer. They are not similar. Okay. So these two, probably? Watch the third. Third one? This one? Launch date announcement trailer. Gem Miner, hello! What's going on? Hey, Gem Miner, we just watched an hour and 45-minute long Rain World lore video. Because I just finished all the campaigns, and I'm trying to get caught up on what the heck this story is. But we just finished it, and now we're watching some Watcher trailers, because whatever you pick, watch launch day last. Okay, watch this one last. Okay, I'll start with third. I'll go 3, 1, 2. Leaving Discord, business site. From top to bottom. But this is launch date announcement. This is launch trailer. So this is the one you said to do last. I'll just open all of them. Pause. Pause. Okay. All right. We're gonna watch the. Okay. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to playing the Watcher, but we are now going to whet our appetite with some juicy Watcher trailer stuff. Watcher trailers to see what the future of Rain World holds. After this lore video and after learning all this stuff about Rain World, I don't even know where you would go from here. I don't even know what the Watcher could possibly be covering. Hey, hi's, these videos, consider, hello. So I don't know. But no spoilers, obviously, chat. Let's take a look at some of these, trailers. Oh god, it's loud. Consider. Oh my god. This is... Wait, when this was launched originally, was this... Where did this trailer come out at? Originally. Like, when did this launch? Was this like a Nintendo Direct or some sort of Direct or something? Like, how did this get launched to everyone? Because, like, if I'm watching the first few seconds of this, and it's not, like, titled Rain World the Watcher launch date, and it was, like, part of a different sort of thing, I'd be really confused right now as to what this was. I'd be watching this and be like, what is this an advertisement for? You can see the date of the publishment 1 year ago. I was just wondering if this trailer originally launched as part of something else. On a Twitch Acropora stream? Interesting. Second drop, 1,000. This is such a weird trailer. Hey, wait, is this how all the Rain World trailers have been? I've not seen a single Rain World trailer. This is weird. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at them. You premiered on their channel. This is a bizarre. Whoa, desert. Can we stand in this trailer, or is there just crawling on our belly? Oh, he's beautiful. Ew, what the heck are those? Oh, it's pretty. Oh, it's spooky. Huh? Was that a drill crab? I want to play it. Guys, March 28th, 2025. Oh my god. Are you guys excited? Oh my, it's almost been a year. It's almost been a year since Watcher came out. I remember when Watcher came out because I was still playing the beginning of Rain World. Yeah, I've heard mixed reviews on the Watcher campaign. I've also heard it's very difficult. I feel like when it first came out, people were always saying like, "Oh my god." But ooh, that looks really cool. Was this crazy hype when this trailer came out? Where people were like, "Oh my god, was anyone even expecting more Rain World content?" Was this like when this trailer dropped? Are people like, "Oh my god, another Rain World DLC"? We thought it was over. We thought the downpour was like the whole Rain World story. All right, second trailer. Consider. Wait, what's this one? Rain World the Watcher Ripple trailer. What did we just watch? We watched Rain World the Watcher launch date announcement trailer. Now it's a Ripple trailer. Everyone, consider. It was insane. Ugh. I wasn't here for it. I'll be here for the next Rain World DLC when that gets launched. Oh. Double of rain pierces the still water. It's so loud. Oh my god. Oh, this is... Sorry. I'm turning it down. Are we watching the same thing? This is the same trailer? I was thinking maybe it had a different ending. It is the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Okay, well in that case we just have these two then, huh? This is like when I'm trying to get my mom to let other kids stay over. I'd like to, hello, Mama. I'd like you to consider something, for me, if you will. I have a proposition for you. Alright. This one looks different. This is, Rainworld the Watcher, launch trailer. Also, just so I make it very clear, what we just watched earlier today was The Affairs of Passing Gods, Rainworld's full story by Solemn Sunday. Published 2 years ago, 1.2 million views. Everyone go watch this video and subscribe to Solemn Sunday. Alright. Rainworld launch trailer by Video Cult. Consider. Do we need a consider emote? Let's watch. Ooh. Don't do a consider emote yet. Ooh, there he is. Oh man. Oh. There it is. There's the freaking drill spider again. I'm gonna. Ooh, is that a scab with a blindfold? Ooh, weird things. Snowpick 2! That's cool. That showed a lot of the cool creatures. Ugh. Guys, Watcher available now. Snowpick 2, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, 11 raiders. Hello. You guys are literally catching the end of the stream. The stream is ending soon. Welcome, Snowpick 2. I saw you playing Blueprints earlier today. Welcome in. You were playing Blueprints still, right? Welcome in, everybody. We've just been watching Rainworld lore videos. We've been watching Rainworld lore. We just watched an hour and 30-minute Rainworld video that I turned into a 3-hour video by constantly pausing and talking about it. But that's what we've been doing today. We've been catching up. So I finished all the Rainworld campaigns finally, and I'm finally watching the lore in order to put together the story in my head because I was so far behind. Are you close to beating Blueprints now, Snowpick 2? Are you close? I still need to play it. It looks so fun. With Vex, we need to keep the stream going for Raiders. Sorry! I do. The stream is ending soon. Raiders, thank you so much. But the stream, we are at the very end of the stream. Keep it going with what Rivulet? Yeah, Riv is going to take over the stream for us. Anyway. Wow. Okay. So Watcher, some of you guys haven't played Watcher, right? You beat it today! Oh my goodness, that's huge. No, that's huge. Congratulations. Everybody, applause in the chat for Snow beating Blueprints. I have one more trailer to go. Wait, was there another trailer in the Discord? Bloop. Launch date announcement, launch trailer. These are the only 3 I got. Kind of. Are there multiple endings? Wait, is Watcher released? You watched them all? Anyway, this was fun, guys. Thank you so much for being here and for helping me through this beautiful Rainworld journey. This isn't the end of our Rainworld journey. Oh no, by not any means. Obviously I still have to play Watcher, but also I still need to play Hunter, and I still need to play Monk, and I honestly need to probably play one of them over again. Which one did I say I was going to play over again because it had a different ending? Oh, Survivor. I need to play Survivor again to get the other Survivor ending. I also need to get some pearls. Oh, we can also do fun multiplayer stuff. Yeah, we should do some multiplayer stuff too. Outer Wilds. I've played Outer Wilds, Snow, but I am going to be doing the Outer Wilds DLC pretty soon. That's like high on my list is playing the Outer Wilds DLC. So we're going to have some Outer Wilds here pretty soon. What should I play next, guys? Should we hit Outer Wilds DLC next, or should we hit Cult of the Lamb? Or how long is Outer Wilds DLC? How many videos streams is that going to be? First watch the Ripple trailer. So Artie campaign again for the new ending. Oh, Artificer campaign. That's the other campaign I have to do again, is Artificer for the other ending. Because that one's like a big different ending. 10 hours, maybe 15. Okay. Yeah, Everhood 2. Everyone's been begging for Everhood 2, right, Teacups? Not just you. Everyone's demanding for Everhood 2. I think everyone needs to watch the Everhood VODs before I can play Everhood 2. It's a little shorter than the base game. That's still really long, because the base game took me a long time. Vexil, you didn't watch the launch trailer announcement. Did you send it to me on the Discord? I have. I've watched all the 3 launch date announcement. This is the same video. This is the same video. Consider. Oh god, it's so loud. Stop. Consider. We watched this. It's done. It was the last one. This is the same one as like one of the first ones. Consider. It's pretty decent. It looks fun. I'm very excited. Launch trailer. I watched them all, don't worry. Okay. I'll watch, if there's any more, send them in my Discord. I'll watch them on a different stream. Anyway, thank you so much, Snow, for being here and for rating. Everyone, I don't have a shout out. How do you do shout out? Is there a way to shout out? I feel like I don't have an exclamation mark shout out thing to do. Is that something you do? Everyone click on Snowpick2's name and go subscribe and follow Snowpick2. It's built in, I think. Where's the freaking button? Wait, if I pull this up, it's gonna... I don't have Twitch open. Refresh, zoom in, copy current address. This is crazy. Oh, there he is. There it is. Freaking block Snowpick2, report Snowpick2. I've never shouted anyone out Snowpick2, so I'm very sorry that I just don't know where the button is. Mod Snowpick2, warn Snowpick2, timeout Snowpick2, ban Snowpick2. Those are my options. Manage suspicious user. Please don't block me, I'll cry. / shoutout username. Oh. Ah, one of my mods did it. Thank you. Everyone, go subscribe to Snowpick2. Thank you. My mods are much better at this than I am. Thank you guys. Anyway. This is the end of the stream though. We're gonna be in touch on the Discord, everyone, because we got to figure out what we're doing next week. We're starting a new series, which I'm gonna be excited about, but I don't know what to do because there's a lot of big series you guys have been requesting. Also, I'm gonna be working on some new YouTube content for you guys and some new Rain World related YouTube content. Now that I finally have all the lore in my brain rattling around, there's been some big Rain World videos that I've been planning to make for a long time now, and I've just been waiting. I've been waiting for this moment. I've been waiting to get all the spoilers out of the way and to get everything cooking in the brain of mine. So now that's gonna happen. I'm very excited for that. So keep an eye on the main YouTube channel as well. I have some VODs I need to upload. But that's it. This is what. Congratulations everyone for being here for the first React stream of my career. This was easy. I should do this more often. Forget making my own original content. I'm just gonna watch other people's content from now on. Purely steal other people's content. Best, easiest stream of my career. I'm gonna be a lore master, yeah. No, but honestly, that video was great. I can't shout this out enough. The Affairs of the Passing God, Rain Will Flow Story by Solemn Sunday on YouTube. Go subscribe to them, check them out. That was an amazing video. I know some of you guys said take the lore with a pinch of salt, that some of that was his headcanon or their headcanon, that maybe there are certain things that are a little different here or there. But I am kind of formulating my own theories just based off of all the cool lore we read. So, don't forget your wide face quota. Oh yeah. Anyway, I never realized the video had 2 million views, but only 7k subs. I know. What is this? What are you making it like a 2-hour video getting a 2 million, like a 1.2 million views and only 7,000 subs? Everyone go subscribe to Solemn Sunday. Yeah, we love your horsey theme, Snowpick2. What did you say explores the lore better? I'm going to sleep. Goodbye. Watch Kuros and Dazom's collab video. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably, I honestly might watch a little bit more lore on my own time, you know. Just to round out my knowledge, or maybe I'll look up. I've been avoiding the spoilers for so long now. I can finally go on like Rain World Reddit for the first time, you know. I can finally go on like, I can finally just Google the word Rain World without being terrified of spoilers. And I can go figure some stuff out. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the Discord this weekend. I'll figure out what we're gonna do next time, and Horse Week will happen again this year if you're interested. Absolutely, Snow. Absolutely. Let me know it's a Horse Week. Anyway, but I'm gonna take off now. I hope all of you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you all later. Thank you, Raiders. But for now, bye. Bye.